Well, I've worked with many schmoes over the years. They're my sidekicks and friends, so I adore them. All the schmoes of the world unite. Joker's here, and he's glad he is.
Live from Collider Studios in Burbank, California, it's the Schmoes No Show. Tonight, a special interview with David Barrier, the director of the documentary Tickled. Why Does Everyone Hate with Cobster? And a game about movie pets. And now, here are your hosts, Christian Harloff, Josh Makuga, and Miss Cabo 2016, Sasha Pearl Raver.
Happy birthday, Ellis! It is the Schmoes No Show, and it is happy birthday to Mr. Mark Ellis. Happy birthday, Mark. Oh, way to celebrate with your friend. Happy birthday, Mark.
Man.
Happy birthday, Mark. Oh,
That's a Mark.
That's a Mark.
It's a Mark, but it's not the Mark Ellis that we're looking for. He's off telling the yucks as he gets older, but it is time to celebrate his birthday today with us telling our jokes, doing our thing, and joining me at the table as always, it's Sasha Pearl Raver. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back, and let's talk about what's really here.
Right?
Not just the Makugas.
I know.
Obviously, not just the champion, but you guys, this is so cool.
We
Freddy
have a set.
Krueger is behind me.
We have a set, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh Makuga.
I'm loving the set. We helped put it together today. It was a nice team effort. It's
We
looking
had
fantastic.
a guy help us out today, a guy by the name of Barnaby, great name,
Yes,
by the way.
yeah.
And he kicked ass.
Yeah.
And he really did. We still got a couple little more trinkets. There's some like frames and stuff we're putting up. For the most part, I'm liking what we got.
Yeah.
And we have all this stuff that here from Gentle Giant that we're going to talk about. But joining us today, what a match tomorrow's going to be. The reigning movie trivia Schmodown champion, Mark Riley, 5-0, 3 knockouts on the eve of the bout, my friend. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Happy to be here, guys.
Happy to have
I like
you.
the champ is here.
The champ is here. I'm excited. We'll see how I do. Dan Merle is a beast.
He is.
He's a good man too. So this is gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Man, I got to study though. So see you guys.
Do it.
If Dan Merle were to work out his muscles as much as his new movie knowledge, that dude would be the mountain.
Yeah, he'd be ripped.
He'd be
ripped.
He'd be Stallone
He'd be
and
the
Rocky
Rock.
IV.
Correct.
Yeah.
He looks like a middleweight.
Now, like I said, we mentioned that you see a lot of this stuff here, courtesy of Gentle Giant. We have a lot of Star Wars stuff happening because it is right around the corner from Star Wars Celebration. We're almost here. So the guys from Gentle Giant really gave us a lot of stuff here to show off our Star Wars toys that we have here. You got Han Solo in the back, you got the Emperor, you got the Stormtrooper. But one of the things that I wanted to let you guys know, check this bad boy out. This is awesome. This is not necessarily, it's not Star Wars, but it is from Warcraft. And this here.
That's rad.
Yes, Gentle Giant presents the Orc Chieftain Duratan. You know it from the movie. He is the noble Orc leader. This incredible San Diego Comic-Con exclusive bust. It was created using digital files provided by Legendary Pictures. It is stunning. You look at it, I love this thing. It is screen accurate. It's classic mini bust. It has been replicated in exact detail, hand cast, hand painted, and individually numbered. It's classic Warcraft piece. It's limited to just 300 pieces.
Whoa.
It's a highly collectible convention. Highly collectible convention exclusive for the Horde. This thing is awesome. If you go to the link, this is what we told you guys when Gentle Giant was going to be sponsoring the show and providing all these cool pieces. Go to the description of this video. You'll find all the links. You'll find the link to the exclusive.
So cool.
It
I
is
feel like you
amazing.
should stop rubbing your
I know, I
grubby
want
hands
to.
all over
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it's so good.
I'm putting it back.
Gently. He's putting it back gently.
What's that? Yeah. So make sure, guys,
That's a giant
browse around. I mean, you talk about the Star Wars stuff alone. I mean, I have Yak Face over here. It's amazing. There's so much cool stuff.
Face with the appearance.
Yak Face is amazing. The Emperor is amazing.
I was like, oh, we got an Ewok. You're like, call him by his name.
Yeah.
I was like, Dave?
What's his name? Do you know his name?
Dave?
Dave.
Dave the
go
Ewok.
for it.
Logray.
Logray.
Gray,
So
yeah.
anyway, guys,
Everybody
so go,
knows that.
That's right. Go
Logray, known as Dave.
1 point champion. So go to the description. Go browse around because we are going to be showcasing a lot of pieces from Gentle Giant. The set looks the way it does because of Gentle Giant. There'll be a lot of cool things. Go and browse around. Very happy to be partnering with those guys. Thank you guys again for this. Is really cool looking. Okay, so we talked about Schmodown Championship match. What do you got, Riley or Merle?
Come on, man. How can you not go with Riley?
I like it.
I mean, that's like look at the size of that belt. Look at the gleam coming off the belt.
2
Look at,
years
like,
he's had that belt. 2 years.
Has it been that long?
2 years.
It's not going anywhere. I mean, it looks good on him and he's keeping it. But I mean, I will say Dan Murrell is a formidable opponent.
He is.
He's smart. He's fast. He has a gigantic brain filled with more movie knowledge than a lot of people. But Riley, man.
It's Riley.
It's Riley.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know, I went all the way to the championship.
You did,
in
finals.
First Schmodown, lost to Riley by a point.
That's right.
There's a special place in my heart for Riley because every time he wins, he feels like a little piece of meat.
Yeah, it's like that's the guy's baby. Yeah.
I've been
Says
carrying
every loser in the world.
Yeah.
No,
we
I've
know,
been
you
carrying
know
you
that, right?
in my heart ever since.
It was a good
until that.
match.
And every win is for you.
That's a great match, by the way. If you haven't watched Riley versus Makuga, you should watch that
That was
match.
crazy.
It was a good match.
That was good.
So, the other thing, like I mentioned every week, that what RB3 is doing with the podcast channel. Go and watch some of those videos. You guys really missing out if you're not subscribed to the podcast channel. It's just, you can type in SK Podcast, it'll come up. If you type in youtube.com/schmoesnopodcast, it will come up. It's behind the scenes videos, a lot of great stuff from the crew. So it's something to look out for.
And he started Snapchatting today.
Well, that was the Copster did that
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
wow.
the clip
Hashtag
pop.
millennials.
See, yeah.
Oh yeah, hashtag I need a tutorial. I
You and I are-
cannot
we're the
figure
worst.
it out. I literally, I'm like, what is this thing?
All I think of about a Snapchat is just like everybody posts a picture of like them puking rainbow or like I'm a cat or like I've switched my face with an In-N-Out cup. Like I don't.
Wait, you
well,
can do
I don't
that?
get. I don't get Snapchat.
That's
What-
why I wanted to do it. I mean, everybody loves the behind-the-scenes stuff and all the classic videos that RB3's putting up.
So
I was
Schmoes
like,
has a Snapchat now.
we got Snapchat.
What is it?
It is Schmoes No.
That's it.
That's it.
right.
We're the
Hey,
first
that.
ones.
Okay.
Yep.
Our Cubs. I'm
Check
surprised
it
they
out.
didn't go like
So you
Danny
have to show
Biscuits
me.
4.
You got to show me how to search.
Oh, I'll show you
We're
how
done
to
with
search.
this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I can't figure out any of that.
Hey, there's a
Deep
little
search.
magnifying glass and you hit it and as you search.
I tried. It
Yeah.
didn't work.
Wait, what? Wait, slow down.
I know how to do that.
Magnifying glass?
Yeah, it's only
All
up
right.
for 10 seconds and it's gone.
It really is. You got the young kids telling the old farts over here how to do
Yeah.
it. All right, so
Can I say something
yes,
real quick
of
about
course you can.
RB3?
Yes, you
RB3.
can.
You know, a lot of people ask, and they'll they'll tweet us or they'll say in a comment like, "How do I become a Schmoes intern?" or "I want to become a Schmoes intern." When RB3 came, we were at Barney's Beanery. He came to interview with Cobster, which somebody interviewing with Cobster is about
Amazing.
the most ridiculous.
How are
thing
you
about
there?
that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome, though.
I was like, you know what? This kid shows up. He looks professional. He's passionate about the thing. He steps in week 1. He's already a part of the team. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like that.
Good personality. Knows what he's supposed to do. Comes in, kicks ass, takes name. Love having you here,
And he
RB3.
beats you for best smile on the
Totally.
crew. Look at that smile. Look
Yeah.
at
He's a young Dr. Dre. Look at him. He's
Yeah,
handsome
yeah.
as hell.
But all of us, RB3, Ace, Copster, Riley, the whole crew. Sasha will not be joining us this year, but a lot of us, we will be at Comic-Con. We're going to be doing the meet and greet there. Make sure that you come and check us out. We don't know exactly when
What,
it's
are you
going
going
to be.
back to Mexico?
I wish.
Yeah, we
I
don't-
wish.
we love Mexico.
I can't believe I'm sitting here. I'm still like mourning the
Yeah.
loss. But that's why I brought a special guest.
We
this
got a
week.
good time. You did. And we're going to meet that special guest a little later. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before we get into our topics, because we have a lot of cool things that we're going to be doing. We have the director of Tickled, which I didn't get a chance to see. I know you.
Dude, I'm so excited.
You and
to talk to
Miri,
him.
you and Miri both saw it. You guys, we're going to have Miri and Sasha interview the director of Tickled. They both saw it. They're going to talk to him today. It's been getting a lot of buzz. It'll be something to see. That'll be in around 20 minutes or so. But it's the podcast. A lot of people would ask on the Harloff podcast. Didn't go up this week. I didn't have a chance. We were really busy. Didn't get to interview anybody this week. But I will be doing that for sure. iTunes, go there, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. The other thing is we are giving away today 2 Blu-rays. One of those Blu-rays, Batman v Superman.
Whoa.
Ultimate Cut. We're giving away 2 copies of Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. Here's how you're going to get it. Riley went to the Schmoes Twitter account and he posted this live link. Go and retweet that link, but with the catch, do the retweet where you have to say something. Say why this is a show that you watch. Tell people when you tweet it out. Retweet the show right now. We're going to pick the best one that we think describes the show the best. We'll go through it. We'll go through those retweets. And at the end of the show, you will win a copy of Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut, courtesy of Warner Brothers. The other way to do it, we're going to give away that information in just a little bit. Martha. Martha. iTunes. We've been talking about iTunes. A lot of great stuff on iTunes. A lot of good shows on iTunes. I think that's all we need to talk about iTunes, right? Is there anything?
No. Okay. I got it.
What? You got something? Oh, you got something.
Oh,
What's
Jesus.
wrong?
Here we
You got a
go.
little bone to pick?
You have a little bone?
You got a bone to pick.
You have a little bone?
Uh-oh. Oh, is this a JTE situation?
No, it's not a JT situation. It's you know,
What you got?
those guys that run the Schmoeville podcast.
Snelling?
Snelling.
Yeah.
I got a little bone to pick.
You got a
What
bone
are
to
you?
pick with Snelling?
Okay, this is my camera right now. I'm gonna look at you,
That's it.
Snelling.
Snelling.
Okay?
And Luke. Snelling and Luke.
Luke, Snelling, smelling, schmelting,
Oh,
whatever
no.
the case
Oh,
may
no.
be. He
Uh-oh.
seemed like a good guy. Talking about Schmoeville, you got the whole thing. This week, I believe somebody said he's not quite the wild man anymore.
It started with Luke. Luke started with it.
Luke
Yeah, yeah.
started it. You know, what happened to the wild man? He's not so wild.
He got
anymore.
himself a girlfriend.
He got himself a girlfriend.
You got domesticated.
He's concentrating on his career.
Oh.
He's doing things that may or may not advance him in the future towards somewhat of a financial stabilization of his life.
Wait, did you become the mild man?
They
Is
did.
that-
They said it was,
now
I was
he's-
listening. What was crazy was that I was listening. The mild man is definitely going to start trending now.
Oh, no.
I was listening to it and I heard them go, you know, he's just not the same anymore. He's like, well, he's got himself a girlfriend, and I go, yeah, I kind of agree. I'm just kidding.
Let me tell you something.
But,
No, he's
but
the
you,
same.
But you've calmed. You've calmed a bit. Then they're talking about
matured.
since the Toad Hop days.
Let me-
You've calmed.
Let me just say this.
What?
Okay.
You got yourself a
I
girlfriend.
got myself okay. A couple things have parlayed itself
Right.
into the less than wild man on the show. Okay. I'm here all day working, so by the
are.
time 7 o'clock rolls around, I'm a little drained. Although I've been chugging iced tea, so I'm a little caffeined up.
Right. Iced tea.
Iced
Yeah.
tea. Okay. We somehow keep running out of booze in the studio, so obviously
Mary.
we are now.
She's not even here. She's not even here.
Even
That's fine.
better.
What do you guys say about me?
Do you guys want this Joe shot?
Mary,
I
we
ain't
can't hear you.
having
You're not
it.
on the microphone.
Wait.
Wait a second.
You
Wait,
saying I'm
where's
drinking?
the booze? I brought booze in this morning.
Wait.
We also shoot in a studio now that is much nicer. There's a lot more expensive equipment. We are
That's
seated.
right. Don't break it.
I'm from Canada.
Now wait a minute.
Guys, wait. I love you so much. Wait, let's talk about Tickle.
I tell you I love you.
I do parties.
Riley is just dead to the world. He's thinking about Merle right now.
I'm just, yeah.
He's
I'm
go-
monitoring Twitter.
He's honestly, he's on IMDb and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's entire filmography, just Sylvester Stallone's entire
Which I know.
filmography.
Which I know.
I know
All right.
you do.
So,
But
yes.
Okay.
I
so
will
mild
say,
man.
listen. When in the old studios, I stood, I drank heavily. I didn't
Dance.
actually have to
Lot of
drive
dancing.
to the studio.
Lot of dancing.
a lot of
Yeah.
dance space. We
Get
don't
older.
necessarily have the dance space. If you've seen me come out during the Schmoedown, you know the wild man's still here. If you see me out on Friday night doing stupid stuff, you know the wild man's
Yeah.
still around. I only have this much room
still jump
to
in
work.
pools off roofs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wait,
all right.
tell everybody about the scar over your eyebrow.
That is still there,
Yeah, and
From
the scar
from Wild
won't
Man
go
activities.
away. Yes, I was hammered at a pool in Palm Springs, and a dude bet me $100 that I couldn't swim underwater 6 times. On the 5th, I pushed off underwater and whacked my face off the bottom of the pool and scraped
So
the
you're
whole
still an
thing.
idiot.
So, wait, so where did the $100 go? Did you get the $100?
To booze.
Hospital bill.
Yes.
Now, I heard that Arnold Schwarzenegger thinks you're an old man.
I would like to personally ask Arnold why he thinks this.
Well, because you're lying to me.
No.
Yeah, you are. What you said, I asked you how old you are, and you said, how old are you?
I'm 34 years old.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You try to pretend you, and I appreciate the lying. And we work with you. You look very young. But I tell you what, you're not. How old? What year were you?
34
That's
years
not-
old.
Come on, don't bullshit
January
me.
29th, 1982.
I don't believe it.
Come on, you can look up my Facebook.
1982.
1982. I think you're lying. Because you are. You're more the mild man. You're not the wild man anymore.
Whoa.
You say, I heard you. I said it.
Arnold,
I
you
can't-
know I'm a big fan of yours.
You used to be, but now I said you're older than you are. You're old man.
I'm
Come
not
on.
an old man.
Come on, be honest.
No,
You got
I'm
the
not
salt
an
and
old
pepper.
man.
I like it.
I've got a lot of salt and pepper.
Embrace
It's
it.
coming in.
For me, I got my old man tits. I walk around. I embrace it. I know I still look at the Terminator, but I'm not.
Yeah, your shirt is on way too often now, Makuga. Like
True.
it's just it's
Yeah.
it's okay. You're in a different phase of life.
It's weird. As soon as I hit like 32, the chest hair started connecting over the shoulders, and now it's just
Oh
a
yeah,
nightmare.
yeah. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Cobster's a full 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
He is already connecting.
All right. Speaking of Cobster,
Hey.
Cobster man. So because Brett to the Future not happening tonight.
Yeah,
He
it's
is out-
Cops to the Future. So no, it's
No,
not.
he's out. He's out of town this
Yeah.
week. Great having his mom on the show last week, by the way. That was a lot of fun.
I cannot believe I missed that.
Oh, you
Mrs.
missed
Brett?
the big one.
She was
So
She was
sad.
great. Her fans loved her, by the way.
She told me I could lick the urinal, I'd be fine. I was like, done. 200
Yeah.
bucks.
Oh yeah,
put it in my
because
pocket.
she's a nurse, and
Yeah,
she said that's totally
She said
sanitary.
it was cool.
Yeah.
But so I called upon the crew and I said, listen, so we want to try a new bit tonight. Who's got something? And clip flop sippity sop 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 threw everybody else under the bus and said he would do it. So no, he came up with something. And what are you going to do for us tonight?
We're talking about silent films. No, we're not. So what I've got planned, this sort of stemmed from a couple weeks ago when we were talking about sci-fi sequels, and I brought up Back to the Future 2 and how much I loved it, and then Sasha just shat on my face. So
You're
I'm calling
welcome.
this segment, and Josh McCoo, shut up, Sasha. I'm calling this segment in Josh McCougar's voice, "What does everybody hate?" And then I'm going to fill in the blank with the movie, and this movie being The Lost World Jurassic Park. I love this movie. So kind of the concept of this is basically, shut up, Cody. Everyone's against me.
That was amazing.
No, the basic idea is that I'll pick a movie that I love that the majority of people have problems with,
Yeah.
and we'll just sort of, we'll talk about
Do
it.
it,
And
girl.
so this one, The Lost World Jurassic Park, since all these movies are all on Netflix, I started rewatching it, and I rewatched it again, and I fucking love this movie so much. I don't get the hate towards it. The only thing that I ever hear coming from this movie, the one problem, is
I
the
know what you're
goddamn,
gonna say. I
it's
know
the
you're gonna say
goddamn
that.
gymnastics
Yep.
scene. It's one damn scene. And look, what I will say, the first movie is obviously incredible. There's no way you're going to top that one. If you look at the first movie, it looks at controlling life, humans engineering dinosaurs. They look at, I'm doing the JT fucking piano thing. They do all that.
It's CRB3. Look at his lips
Yeah.
getting ready for a new video.
No, he's ready for it. And then in the second movie, they take that idea, the control of the life of all the dinosaurs is free. So they want to go to the island, research them, but then you've got another party coming in and wanting to take those dinosaurs back to the main island. So it does not repeat the first movie. It does completely what a lot of sequels do these days is just carbon copies of the first movie. This one is completely different, and I just don't understand the hate behind it.
I haven't seen it in so long. I haven't seen it in so long, but I remember not like this is one Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I remember the dinosaurs running around in the streets at the end of the
Okay.
movie.
Oh, God.
See, what I will say, the first
Is that
movie
stupid?
is like two different movies in one. You've got the fun adventure, people going through this crazy prehistoric zoo. Then the second half is like a slasher film with dinosaurs, okay? The second movie, you got three stories in one. You've got a little bit of that adventure, all inspiring, looking at the dinosaurs, they're pretty and stuff. Then you got the middle part of the movie, they're on the run, because it's Jurassic Park, you're going to have people running away from dinosaurs. Fine, I'll take it. The third part of the movie is like a little mini Godzilla film, but it's, at the end of the day, like, what else are they going to do? What else? Where else are they gonna go for the sequel? They have to up the ante somehow. Bring the dinosaur, and it's funny because they sort of treat The Lost World Jurassic Park as sort of a parody. Because if you watch the movie, some of the dialogue's a little hokey, but I feel like they do that on purpose to make it seem like they're like the first movie we did it, and you're so like oh my god, you're caught in awe of what's going on. And the second time around, they're doing sort of the same thing. It's like, yeah, no shit, we've seen this before, and it's kind of funny how they portray that.
I understand that point of view. I just have, if that is the case, I just don't like that because it's the same conversation I had with someone about Gremlins 2. It was like the first Gremlins, and it's not as extreme with the shift, but the first Gremlins was kind of seen as like a horror movie with some comedy elements. The second one is just a damn spoof, and I hated it. Scott Mance loves it.
Yeah.
Scott Mance.
I fucking love Gremlins
This
2.
is better than the original.
Gremlins 2 is genius. They hit on every trope in every movie.
Sasha, an underappreciated film. Oh my God! How could you not like Gremlins 2? Anyway, so
So Lost World.
Yeah, but
Lost World.
Lost World.
Circling
Sasha,
the
I
wagons.
want to hear
Bring
what
it back,
you what
bring
do
it
you
back.
have to say
I wanna
about
hear
The Lost
Sasha.
World.
I think that what you just said is very sweet, but I think that's like.
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
Bring
Maybe
it, Sasha.
Sasha just patted you on
No.
the head like, good job,
We're still
Cubster.
gonna be friends later.
Yeah.
I just don't like you in that way. No, I think you're giving them more credit than like, oh, it's a spoof. No, it's not. I think they were doing it in earnest, and it just fell so flat that now maybe you're seeing it through the prism of, well, we've seen these other movies, and maybe this is a different version of it. When I saw it, when it came out in theaters, all I saw was them shitting the bed. I was like, oh, I remember the first one. It was so good, and now they're trying to recapture those great elements, but they were also trying to service things in like this really weird. What was the name of that horrible movie with Charlize Theron where she like brings the,
Eon Flux.
Yeah,
the other
Mighty
one-
Joe Young?
No, yes,
Oh, yeah,
Mighty
Mighty
Joe
Joe
Young.
Young, yeah.
It felt like
Remake.
they kind of did a Mighty Joe Young situation in Lost World where they're bringing nature into man, and it just it was a complete
didn't
disaster.
like it?
Did you like the movie?
I like Lost World a lot because it has a lot of things going on that I love, which is dinosaurs eating people. That's it.
But it's more of a silly slasher film.
It is.
I wouldn't call it silly. I think they did do it in earnest, and whether you like it or not, it's the same reason I like Jaws 2.
Hey,
same deal.
We know what I'll say about the the gymnastics
wanted
scene.
to put his daughter in?
No. Yeah, she's different color. But what I will say about that is I find that more believable than actually Lex hacking into the system in the first movie, because she has one little line in the first Jurassic Park where she's like, "I'm a hacker. That's what I am," and then she's able to hack and close off all the fucking doors. But then everyone's complaining about her doing. She's a gymnast, so maybe.
I'm just saying that none of it should have happened in the first place. That whole
no,
story.
I will.
The first Jurassic Park did Jurassic Park: The Lost World come out?
Like
what year did it come out?
I wanted to say 4.
3 or
Like
4.
3 or 4 years after. I think it was like 97.
93 and 97, so 4 years.
However, I will say something about Copster, what you're saying about maybe it being a parody. Spielberg knew what he was doing. He threw the T-Rex going to San Diego at the end. He said, because the fans are going to want this.
True.
He's like, look, they're going to want this. I'm going to do it. It was fan service. Did it work for me? Hell yes.
There's even a scene.
Hell yes.
Where
The dinosaurs in San Diego.
There's
Who would
literally
hate that?
a scene where he has like a group of Japanese guys running away from the dinosaur, saying like, "Oh, it's Godzilla, run away!" And they're actually running away from the dinosaur.
Just think if that scene would have hit the way it was supposed to, or like Sasha was saying, like it was intended to, more people would remember that. All they kind of remember in their minds, and they go like, "Oh yeah, they had like a silly scene where the dinosaurs were eating people on swings or whatever." I don't remember what the hell happened. It was so long ago.
That sounds awesome.
It definitely was such a letdown for me after because the first Jurassic Park is one of those theater experiences that you never forget.
Yes.
And the Jurassic Park: The Lost World for me was such a letdown in the sense of this isn't Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You know, this wasn't. This is not what I signed on for. And I think I just haven't seen it since then, so I can't really give it an opinion of like why so much the hate. But I remember when it came out and going to see it in the theater, being like, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I think you also have to talk about is like when we're talking about like the sequels of Jaws, the sequels of Jurassic Park, we're talking about creature features, right? So if you're in the world of Godzilla and it's, back in like even silent movies, or if it's in the 50s and 60s, there's more of like a sense of innocence. Now, once you've seen what the big animal can do, it's so much harder to thrill people. And I think that when you just start dumping a bunch of stuff in an effort to make it exciting again, that's where people end up getting
Look
a little
at
lost.
Predator 2.
Well, yeah, you touched on
Predator
either.
2's not
it's
bad.
Look, there's no
Gary
argument.
Busey in it.
It's not going to be better than Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park reinvented things with CGI, and only that. Spielberg back doing what he was doing, but. If you like these movies, you're gonna like this enough.
I might go
like
back.
Me.
I might
like
go
me.
back.
I would definitely say revisit it.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
want
say,
to hear
if
from
you've done anything, it's from wanting me to go back and watch
see
it.
and watch it again, see if I
Did
like
I
it.
The
will say
trailer
too-
scene with the 2 Rexes that come.
Oh, it's great.
And that scene where they're hanging over the cliff and the glass is breaking. I'm sorry, that is some of Spielberg's best work.
Before we go to break here, I want to hear from Ace Man. Ace, I know you're going to back up the fellow Wanger here. You probably love this movie.
I love this movie.
Yes,
Ace.
Ace.
It's one of those movies that I saw as a kid, and I was completely fascinated by everything that was going on.
Is it nostalgia, though, that you
Well,
still are
Part of it
holding
could
on
be
to?
nostalgia.
And wait, here's
Part of
another
it could be.
question. Did you guys see it in the theaters or did you see it on the small screen
I
first?
saw-
Ace was 3 years old when the thing.
I saw the trailer for it in the theaters.
Yeah.
But you saw the movie on the small screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I think maybe it translates better small
Could be.
screen.
Maybe.
That's
I don't know.
possible.
Ace,
Maybe.
go ahead.
I feel like it's exactly what you guys are saying. Following up Jurassic Park, which is essentially a perfect movie that hits on so many different levels, whether it be like philosophical levels and an action film. It's just really hard. And I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. I still like it over Jurassic World, which to me was a little bit too much. And I still think the dinosaurs look better in Lost World than they did in Jurassic World.
The use of practical effects on the dinosaurs
much better.
in the Lost World of Jurassic Park is 1,000 times better than it is in the new one.
All right. Well, thank you, Copster. That was Copster's bit called what?
What does everybody hate?
Right. So when we get back, we are going to be interviewing the interview? Sure. The director of the film Tickled. Miri and Sasha will be not tickling me, but they will be interviewing said director as soon as we get back, guys. Christian Harloff, Sasha Pro Raver, Josh McCouga, the Champ, and the Wangers.
The Champ is
When we
here.
get back, retweet, get that Batman v Superman.
What's up, Schmoville? Cops are here once again to take care of you guys where we're taking a little bit of a break. And if you didn't catch it last week, this is in video format now, so the cringe is all there. I think every single week I'm just going to cut to a real close-up shot of my dumb face. But so it is in video format now. We're changing things up just a bit. Not only is it in video, but we're also going to be doing some digital download code giveaways during these breaks. But I'll tell you how you can win the first one. There's going to be 2 tonight. So be sure to stay tuned during these breaks. You guys can win some cool movies just to watch, just for, hey, because you guys are cool. And we like watching movies, and you guys like watching movies. But while you watch these movies, you know what you should be wearing? No, you should be wearing a Schmoes Know t-shirt or any other type of merchandise from our merch store at tpublic.com. tpublic.com. Shit just comes out of nowhere. You guys can check this site out for a bunch of amazing different content of different types of shirts. The Wanger shirts, the Schmoes Know logo, and all different types of movie logos. But you don't let me tell you about these t-shirts. Have Mark and Christian tell you about it themselves.
Hello, Schmoville. Well, you sick of hearing our voices? Too bad, because here we are again. This time, we keep talking and telling you guys about the Schmoes Know merch store. All the stuff that we have in there, like this shirt, that great sweatshirt there. That's actually mine because he forgot his. But it's still, look at that. Look at that, the Avengers Schmoes Know logo.
Don't touch my sweatshirt.
Well, is that your sweatshirt? Mark, there are a lot of cool designs that a lot of Schmovillians help design. That it's a, look at this one. I love that Sesame Street version.
That's the one I do have. I might be wearing that one on the live show as we speak. There's tons of different designs. Christian fans have made them. We put them on the site. Now you guys can get them in any color, shape, size you want.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. You got the Sesame Street one. You have the Avengers one. You have this Daredevil one in the baseball tee that I wear all the time.
Good one.
And the most popular design as of right now is the Schmoes Know Star Wars logo. Who figured?
Yeah, mine got stolen in my backpack,
Oh,
but
man.
I can get a new one at the link in the description of this video. You guys are watching the live show anyway on YouTube. Just go to our description. You can click the link and never not wear a t-shirt again.
Okay.
Salesmanship.
It's pretty good.
All right, Schmoeville, this next clip is a combination of Phase 3 and an awesome guest where I actually got to interview Roger Craig Smith, a very talented voice actor. He's done many people. He's done Batman, he's done Sonic, Ezio Auditore, Chris Redfield. I mean, the list just goes on. And I had a really fun conversation, and this was right around the time when Arkham Origins was coming out. So check this clip out. It's a lot of fun. RB3 has been kicking ass. RB3. Give this guy a follow. He's been putting up a shit ton of amazing content on the SK Podcast channel. Give him a follow, subscribe to that channel, check out this clip.
Believe me, I knew like what I was stepping into, and the notion has been, the term has been used to fill the shoes of Kevin Conroy, which you can't do. But I knew Eric Holmes, our creative director, and what he kind of wanted to achieve with his creative vision on this project. And it being an origin story, we knew that we could kind of play around with the voice a little bit and with the attitude of the character, but I still knew that this was going to be like under the microscope from the fan base, because arguably everybody's so passionate about this character, and I get it. You know, we love Batman. We don't want to mess with the character of Batman. So it was like tremendously fun and tremendously trepidatious, all mixed into one, because we knew the gravity of the situation.
Very cool. And one more thing. Can you tell Schmoeville that Batman is here at the Schmoes Know Movie Podcast and that he's ready to kick ass?
Schmoeville, I am the reason the criminals breathe easier when the sun rises. And whatever you just asked me to say is what I'm going to say right now.
All right, Schmoeville, and before I show you guys this very last clip, I'm going to tell you how you can win a digital download code for Deadpool. That's right, one of the best films of this year, in my opinion. It is a great comic book movie, and I'm pretty sure all of you enjoyed the shit out of it because it's fucking awesome. And I'm saying that because they curse in the movie, and you should be able to too, unless you're a little kid. So here's what you got to do. Tag Schmoes Know, hashtag it Schmoes Know, hashtag Copsters Breaks, all those things, and tell us what your favorite comic book movie is of all time. Is it Deadpool? Is it The Dark Knight? Or whatever it may be, let us know, and I will choose a winner and announce it on Monday. This final clip is from the Schmoeville podcast. If you guys don't know, 2 fans of the show, Ryan Snelling and Paul Wolf, came together, created a show recapping everything from our show and talking everything Schmoes every single week. It's really great. It's on the SK Podcast channel on YouTube, as well as the Schmoes Know iTunes feed. You guys can check either or. Check it out. Do the giveaway, and hey, you get a chance to win Deadpool, so enjoy. See you at the second break.
So let's talk about Schmoedown.
Yeah, Schmoedown.
Last week we had Sam Levine versus Jeff Snyder, and I told myself that I was going to rewatch the Schmoedowns before I do this podcast. That way it was fresh in my memory. I didn't. Again,
yeah.
I was so busy, but I went with Sam Levine only because I just figured he was a human. He's a human IMDb, sort of like Scott Mantz.
Yes.
And I still don't know a lot from Jeff Snyder yet, but I clearly favor Sam Levine more, just because Jeff Snyder I don't hate him or anything, but he just kind of put a weird taste in my tongue. So please don't take that literally. I went with Sam Levine, and now that I'm sitting here, I don't think I remember who fucking won.
Sam Levine.
Hi, everybody. I'm not Christian Harloff. In case you haven't noticed, I have a vagina and I have long hair.
And you're purdy.
Whoa!
You sure
and he's
do
not
got a
here for
purdy
that.
mouth.
I'm here with Sasha Pearl Raver. I'm here with Josh McCouga, and we're very, very excited to have a very special guest with us here today in the studio. David Farrier, director, producer, creator of Tickled, the documentary, which we have been talking about on this show, I think for like 3 straight shows.
Oh, yeah.
No, 4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you
He's
for
like,
that.
No,
4. Yeah.
As soon as you brought it up, I swear to God, I watched that trailer like 6 times in a row, and I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also very intrigued.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of open up the conversation. We can get into a little bit more of the genesis of the tickle chair and being tickled on this show, because there was a story around that. But I want to kind of know a little bit about how it's mentioned in the movie, but how did you come across the story and decide that it was a story that you wanted to tell in documentary feature length format? Like, how did that all happen?
I mean, it happened really quickly. I'm an entertainment reporter in New Zealand, so I was looking for another wacky story. And I found this tickling competition. There's a website and a Facebook page, Jane O'Brien Media, and like the money was really good. They'd pay you $1,500 to fly to LA. I mean, all your flights were covered. Like, everything was all free, and they'd pay you. You'd go to LA, and all you needed to do was be tickled by someone else. So you'd go on these tickle teams. They'd be in Adidas gear.
Oh, it's real.
And they'd tickle. And these videos were all online, and I thought it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And these people flowing in were from all over the world, including New Zealand. And so the money was amazing, because you've got 10 people going to LA once a month. They're getting paid $1,500 minimum.
Incredible.
Plus put up in a hotel. Yeah, everything. So it was like this amazing thing. So I reached out to them, and I said, I'm a journalist in New Zealand, and I'd like to do a story. And they just replied basically saying, we don't want to deal with a homosexual journalist. And it was weird. Like, if you watch the videos, it becomes weirder, because these videos are super gay and super camp, because it's like these hot young men,
in like
age
wrestling.
18 to 23, in like tight-fitting clothes. Like, one of them's tied down, and the
Dreams
others are on
of
top of them
Mario.
tickling. Like, super gay. And so that response was really weird.
Yeah.
And so I kept emailing back and forth with Jane and Debbie at this company, and it got more and more homophobic. And then I started blogging, and my friend Dylan started blogging, and then they hired lawyers. And then when I knew there was a film is when they sent 3 men from America to New Zealand just to tell me and my friends not to make a film. So at that point, you go, okay, like, there's more to this. And it turns out there was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's such a fascinating story. The movie is terrifying and says so much about culture today. But I feel like we've even skipped a step in that the first email was, we don't want a homosexual journalist.
Yeah.
The fact that they researched you, didn't that make you uncomfortable? Wasn't that one of the first red flags?
Oh, it was weird, because I mean, I expected a reaction like, we're a bit busy, or, well, sure, we'll give you an interview. But like, for them to obviously have Googled, found some old article about me, and use that as like some form of weird sort of homophobic abuse, super strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was just the beginning,
To insult a man about something and he already knows.
Well, yeah, completely.
Well,
Like,
also
really...
when your actual thing that he's interested in is quite homoerotic. I mean,
completely.
It's like young, good-looking men wrestling.
Yeah, and
tickling each
I
other.
entered into this weird email exchange dialogue, basically saying, like, so what if I've been in a gay relationship? Like, I'm a journalist. I just want to know about this tickling. Just tell me about the
Totally
tickling. And they're like, no, you're too gay. And I'm like, but your sport's really gay. Like, what? And these emails just went
Jane,
back
you death
and
protest
forth.
too much.
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
You're like, let's put all that aside. I want to learn about tickling.
Yeah, completely. Like, let's
It's
stop
so
talking about
random.
me for a second, and
Yeah.
let's just talk about this huge tickling operation
Although
you
I will
have
say,
going on.
I watched the movie on a screener with my best friend, who tried to watch it 4 more times without me, but couldn't get the password to work. But he was like, "I need to see it again. It's so interesting."
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
paused it as the Postmates delivery showed up, and it was 8 dudes on top of another guy, strapped down, shirtless, and I felt this real like necessity to explain. We're watching a documentary. It's called Tickled.
Yeah, this is the film.
It's really
Yeah.
interesting. You
Yeah.
should go see it.
Well,
it comes
think-
out next week.
Think of me in like my newsroom in New Zealand, and all I was doing during work time was like watching tickling videos to try and figure it out. And I'm like,
David.
I'm trying to make a documentary, you know.
Get back
it's
to work.
It's
Yeah.
a documentary.
So the thing that I think is really interesting too about this, there's many things that are interesting about this, but one of the things to me that's very fundamental to why it's so intriguing is our perception of tickling. Just people who aren't necessarily like fetishists about tickling, but just our perception as a culture. And you know, the publicist that was, you know, promoting the film and helping get the word out reached out to me a while back and said, how would you guys like to have the director and have the tickle chair? And I hadn't seen the film yet. And I was like, yes, let's get the tickle chair. I'm going to do the tickle chair. Let's make a contest. We'll have everybody do it. And I didn't really think about it because to me, and I think to many people, tickling is a very innocuous thing. It's like, oh,
it's fun.
tickling, tickling,
Yeah.
funny, cute. But it's actually like we say it's a form of torture jokingly. But in this movie, I think my perception of tickling has been changed forever.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting is the point that it made to me is that abuse can come in many forms and bullying can come in many forms. What were your perceptions of tickling when you first entered into this misadventure? And how has your perception of it changed, and how do you think it's represented in culture, and what is your take on all of that?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I
a big,
find
it's
it
a big question.
fascinating.
But yeah, I
In
mean,
like
no,
30 seconds
yeah,
or
no,
less.
but I
10
mean, you
words or
know,
less.
it's interesting because like tickling became a metaphor for the whole film. You know, like when you first see tickling, it's the most innocent thing of all time. Like you tickle your brother and sister when you're little, and like your parents tickle you, and it's, you know, I tickle my nieces. But you take tickling to a level where, you know, making the film, I went to visit a tickling fetishist. It's not in the film, but I was tied down on this table for 10 minutes, and there was no safe word, and he just went to town on me and like tickled me. And it's when you can't get away, it is complete torture. And you've got someone who has complete control, like the tickler has complete control over the ticklee. And that kind of becomes this like bigger, you know, sort of idea about this whole film, which is about someone with a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of control taking advantage of people that don't have money or any power. And so the tickling kind of becomes like a larger theme, I guess, in the film. And while the film's not really about tickling, it's about this other stuff. I think tickling is just this amazing image where you think, oh, it's innocent and it's fun.
Yeah, it's such
but
an
it ends up
amazing-
being like anything but that in this movie.
Absolutely, but also it deals so much with how information is disseminated in an internet age, which
Completely.
is really terrifying. I do not Google myself. My husband does, and sometimes he's like, "Why, if you put your name in, does naked come up?" And I'm like, "Because people in this world are gross."
Yeah, Google's so telling, right?
Oh,
like what people,
man.
it's terrifying.
What were some of? I mean, the way people were also exploited in this film. It's very upsetting, and it has a
upsetting.
beautiful. It's a great insight. I think there's actually some beautiful insights in the film. But what were some of the more disturbing things that you found out either through research or through personal stories of some of the people that may or may not be in the film?
I mean, it's amazing how, I mean, what we found is that these videos ended up being used against the people that were in them. So Jane O'Brien would hire these people to be tickled. Some of them had a great time, they get paid and they go home. But then some of those people, for whatever reason, those videos were used against them, and suddenly they had websites registered under their name, and their tickling video was pretty much everywhere. And I think the main thing I learned is just how like something completely innocent and, you know, like a tickling competition can suddenly make you look like someone in a porn or something, because suddenly these young men are searching their names, and the first 100 results are just their tickling video on every website imaginable, including porn websites, and all the context of it all changed. So, I mean, I think that's what I find interesting about the internet. You can say something, you know, something can be quite innocent and pure and can come from a good place, but if someone spins that in a certain way, it can spiral and spiral and spiral. And we all know this, like, right? Someone sends a tweet and they, you know, and it's something stupid, but it spirals and they end up, you know, losing control. Tickled is like that, but someone else is pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
If we were to Google you, what would be possibly the thing that you wouldn't want to come up?
No, I mean, I'm so open about everything. Like, everything is out there, you know, so there's actually nothing in particular. I mean, at the moment you tickle me, it's probably like David Farrier tickling. That's like the Google fill-in thing that comes up. But no, I'm pretty open.
Yeah.
Is there a superhero called the Tickler?
There's not, but there should be.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a villain.
Okay.
That guy would
be
be
a
awesome. I think he would be a
great-
villain.
Yeah, as far as I know, there isn't. I mean, there may be some. Maybe
And
somewhere
all
there
I keep
is.
thinking of is, you know, in Dumb and Dumber when he's like, "I know about you, Mr. French Tickler." Like, that's the line that always gets me in that movie. And you're right. You hear the word tickle, and it's such a benign word, right? It's very. And I'm the kind of guy that I don't really like people touching me. Like that, like the tickle thing. So the torture thing would get me, but I think after a while, maybe like I would just become immune to it. But then you watch some of this stuff, and it's so intense.
Yeah, I mean, these videos, these tickling competitions go on. I mean, some of the videos are an hour long, and it's this, you know, and that's not what this film is. It's not an hour and a half of tickling. But you know, it's funny tickling though, because like I often search Twitter for tickled just to see what people are saying about the film. But that you'll suddenly see like that's a dangerous search to do on Twitter because there's so much crazy stuff around the word tickled.
Yes.
Not about the film, but about other crazy stuff going on. So just as a warning, if anyone's thinking of doing that.
Well, good.
Well, I
good
will
to
say
know.
YouTube also, we ended up down a K-hole of tickled videos for like an hour after the movie because we wanted to see what's available, we sort of learn a little bit more. It was research. Well, because the movie is so fascinating, and I just wanted, my only experience of watching tickling videos was the film. So I wanted like a greater understanding of it. But I mean, there's something that we have not touched on yet, but there's been so much in the film that we're not discussing that is really about like the maliciousness of some of the people involved, and they've been attacking you since before this even was a film.
Yeah, it got crazy. I mean, very early on, those three men that came to New Zealand, they sort of said to Dylan and I that if we make this documentary, then we'll be financially ruined. And so we kind of went, okay, that's quite threatening, but we'll proceed with things. But I mean, there's been...
I'd have been like, I'm going to go surfing.
I don't know. We thought it was just something worth pursuing, and then, you know, since the film's come out, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff's happened. I've been sued twice for defamation.
Really?
Someone in the film's been sued for $40 million.
Well, you know you've made it when you're getting sued.
What?
Yeah, I guess so. That's one. No, it's craziness.
$40
and
million
it's hard,
for what?
for saying something that someone else in the film didn't like. So, you know, there's a lot of money involved, and the company and the person behind it all has a lot of money,
Clearly.
and they're using it to try and sort of shut things
I've
down.
been trying to start companies with legit ideas, and some girl with a tickle company is crushing it.
Oh,
Yes,
maybe
like, come on.
Watch the movie.
hell is
Yeah.
going
I don't know. You need to
You'll
watch the
find all
movie.
about Jane O'Brien when you watch it. So I have a question for you, because one of the things I loved about this film, and I really, to say I loved it is the wrong word, because it's such
It's
a mixture of disturbing and fascinating. It's kind of this approach of, you took the audience along the ride with you. And I feel like you were uncovering the story, and the way you produced it and the way you chose to tell the story, we were uncovering it with you. Like, you're like, okay, so I found this, and now let's go and investigate this. And it was it felt like it was almost in real time. When did you make the decision to tell the story in that way? Because I think that's obviously deliberate. And what was it about that mode of storytelling that you felt would be useful for this particular?
I mean, it's just because because it unfolded in such a crazy way for Dylan and I. We did. It was that simple. We wanted the audience to go along on the same journey we did, and it just seemed like a logical way to do things. And so we had an idea of what we wanted to shoot. We went and shot it, and then we just made sure that with our pacing, you were just on the road with us. And, you know, we shot a lot of stuff of, you know, Dylan and I talking as we were trying to figure this out, because we didn't want it to be like recapping this thing we already knew. We wanted it to be, you know, the audience to start with nothing and to go tickling's this innocent thing, and then at the end to be in this like very dark, strange place where you're kind of questioning everything.
Well, as an aside, the reason why we chose not to do the tickle chair thing is precisely because after I saw the film, I called Christian and I was like, we can't do the tickle chair.
Oh,
and
really?
He said, why? And I said, because to me, it represented something very different. It represented people who had been really taken advantage of, to say the least. And at the worst, you know, like you said, lives can be ruined. And you were talking about the power of the internet, and I think that's kind of like.
Yeah, just didn't seem like in good taste.
It felt like, oh wow, no, this is actually representative of something very different. And I think that's kind of the beauty of this film too, is even the title. You're like, tickled, tickle me Elmo. Like everybody has these associations.
Tickle pink.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. All positive things.
Yeah. So it changed my perception anyway.
Let me, I guess because the way this is told is in like a thriller fashion almost, and it feels like that. Have you been approached to write any kind of narrative, a scripted version? Of
No, I mean,
like
we started
this?
joking about that. We're like, this story is kind of so crazy. Like, who would we cast if we did like a narrative version of
Josh
our
McCougar.
doggo?
No.
You're in. No, I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, we're so in the middle of the craziness with the lawsuit stuff and various things to do with the film. I haven't even had a chance to think about it, but it's a possibility. Okay. I mean, it's written in our sort of contract somewhere that we've got the rights to that. So who knows? But I mean, I don't know if I want to go there. It's a pretty strange place.
Have you been approached by anybody like, say, a procedural television show or any kind of for like the story on like a CSI, not a CSI, but like one of those like shows where they solved it. But
it would be a pretty amazing CSI episode. Yeah, something to do with this. But I mean, you've got it's interesting because I think everyone takes a different thing from this film, and you were talking before as well about tickling being a terrible thing, but I mean, there is also really good tickling out there, for want of a better word, and we meet someone in the film who does tickling for a job. He's a professional tickler, and he's very open about what he's doing, and he'll pay models, and he's like, I'm essentially making erotic videos with you in them. I'm going to tickle you. They'll go online. And it's very in the open. Yeah. And that's like how he makes his living. And that's fine.
And I loved that because I said this before, like any proclivity is fine with me as long as everybody's consensual. Yeah. It's just when you feel like somebody's being taken advantage of. You said earlier that you visited a tickle facility or for yourself that isn't in the film. Were there any other investigative things that you did that didn't end up making the final cut?
Yeah, there's quite a few bits. I mean, we were pretty focused on it, and there's scenes that didn't make it in, but like they generally didn't make it in either because they were boring or just frustrating little things. Like we had a great scene with someone doing karaoke and we couldn't use it because we couldn't get the rights to the song. So, really like silly little finicky things like that. Yeah. But, I'm really proud of everything we got in there in the end. I mean, it told the story we wanted to tell.
What was I guess during the filmmaking process, at what point, or were there points where you're like, I just don't see us getting any further than this?
There were a few moments like that. Like towards the end, when we were trying to get to one main character in the film, our producer, he called us on the phone and said, if you get any more legal threats, we're going to have to bail from this whole thing because you're not going to get the film insured and we can't even release the film. So there were moments where just the legal threats and the coming through were affecting what we could and couldn't do. It was our first film we'd made, our first documentary, and we sort of happened to pick this company that didn't want to sign waivers to be on camera and stuff. And that stuff's really complicated. Like, it's really, really difficult.
I was wondering that the whole time. I was like, is this because they're in New Zealand that like they just aren't getting people to sign waivers and appearing in the film? Because you say that in the film. You're like, you're in New Zealand, and here if you're in public, we can shoot you. Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe this is like a New Zealand-based company, and that's why they can do that. Because my best friend who I was watching with is a lawyer, and he was like, I don't think they can do that.
No, we can definitely do it. Tell your friend we can definitely do all that.
That's
amazing. We were so careful about where we shot everything. We made sure it was in public spaces, and we were in the right. There's different laws in different states and everything, but it made it really difficult because when we were up against someone who said they would sue us, the last thing we want to do is give them a reason. Yeah. So it was tricky.
You were ballsy too. I mean, there's one scene where
I suppose.
Seriously, no, seriously,
that's the right word. That's the right response.
You were so ballsy. And there's this one great scene where basically you're outside of a facility, and there's two moments where you're sort of like on a stakeout almost. Yeah. And the first one when you were in Los Angeles, I was like, oh my God, are they going to get shot? I was so worried for you guys.
We were kind of concerned about that as well.
You can feel it.
Because
the tension's palpable.
I know it's the thing. Like in New Zealand, we don't really have guns, and so you don't think about that when you're sneaking up to someone. But when you're in America and you're approaching someone who doesn't want to be approached, that's kind of in the back of your head.
Well, it's okay. You're not black. So
we're all fine.
Not that.
Oh God, I know.
It's such a bad.
It's a scary time to be in America.
Yeah. But you must have been scared. There must have been so many moments where you were like, what's going to happen? Were you afraid that there would be physical retaliation or just legal?
At times, because I mean they had a lot of money, and they clearly didn't want us doing the story. So there were times, but there were always people. We had each other. There were 4 of us on the crew, and we're just like, if anything happens, we've got your back. We all sort of had that philosophy. Unfortunately, nothing did happen, but it puts you on edge. There was one moment in the film where we were traveling to Muskegon to specifically meet a bunch of MMA fighters, and we didn't know whether they were with us or against us. So that's like a crazy situation to be driving into.
Those guys. They were so good.
They were really good.
Oh man.
We have to move on to your indie picks in a moment. But before we do, I have one more question for you, and that is, what if you wanted people to come away with kind of one idea in their head after they see this film, or one thought, or one rumination, what would it be?
I think really simply think twice before going on a competitive tickling shoot.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the basic. Yeah, that is the basic takeaway. Be careful online and be aware of who you're dealing with.
Caveat emptor. Got it.
$1,500. Nothing is free in this world.
Nothing
$1,500.
is free. So true.
You get a lot more than tickled for that.
Yeah.
The movie is so good. And if you do watch this show, you heard last week or 2 weeks ago, I was screaming its praises because it's fantastic. Oh, Tickled is so good. But now let's talk about a couple of other indie picks. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, if you watch the show, you know that I've been very big on documentaries of some of my personal heroes. Like there was the great Nora Ephron documentary earlier this year, De Palma, which I still beseech people to see, especially in theaters. Right now there's one called Norman Lear, Just Another Version of You. So this is Norman Lear, the man behind such incredible things as All in the Family. Like nobody did more for television than Norman Lear. This documentary, which was done by a female directing team who was also responsible for Jesus Camp and one of the segments of Freakonomics. They take you behind the scenes of the making of. They have beautiful interviews with everyone from like George Clooney across the board. They've also got like B. Arthur, and anything with B. Arthur, I am in. Come on.
I'm a Dorothy Zbornak. Whenever anyone asks me which Golden Girl I am, I'm 100% Dorothy Zbornak.
You are 100%.
100%. I'm the tall one too.
Me and Estelle Getty had a thing back in '77. It was quite hot.
Let me tell you. But this film is so fascinating. And Makuga and I, we do a show called TV Talk, and we talk about how television is changing. No television would exist in the way that it does now if Norman Lear had not done what he did, 100%. Pushed boundaries the way he did, and he politicized television in a lot of like really subversive ways. It is so fascinating. Please, 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 Norman Lear, Just Another Version of You.
If you want a cool thing, just go check out Norman Lear's IMDb profile and all the things he had his hand in.
It's like hundreds.
And then go try and watch some of the really early stuff, like some of the Sid Caesar stuff. He actually had his hand in Richard Pryor's show. He was the only white person that Richard Pryor wanted to work with. Like, it's crazy.
He could trust.
Yeah. Norman Lear, just an unbelievable talent. And we have him to thank for a lot of careers.
A lot of stuff. So watch this and you will learn even more. And yes, absolutely. Go to his IMDb page and you will just be blown away. Somebody else who blows me away constantly is Bryan Cranston. He has a film called The Infiltrator, which is out. It was directed by Brad Furman. Brad Furman, who did a small film that a lot of people haven't seen called The Take, which also stars John Leguizamo, who is in The Infiltrator along with Bryan Cranston and Diane Kruger. So this film is pretty much exactly what you would expect. FBI guy goes behind the scenes. It's very much like the film version of Narcos. Oh, have you seen it, Makuga? You saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
I love Cranston. I love anything.
Oh my God.
We talked about it on TV Talk this week. Anything that has to do with drug dealers, I love.
Well, because you wanted to be one.
I know. If you didn't have to like kill people and like you wouldn't go to jail forever.
He never puts a step wrong. Like he's never been in a bad production.
No, and he's always been
great.
He
hasn't been.
Well, and the thing about this movie is it's very by the numbers. Like it's pretty much all the stuff that you would expect. But Bryan Cranston takes it to this whole other level.
That's what he does.
And also
that Lyndon B. Johnson
Brad,
thing.
All the way.
I love him. Where has he been?
He's in The Infiltrator, dog, and he is so good. And John Leguizamo. I think John Leguizamo is a phenomenal and incredibly underutilized actor. And Brad Furman knows how to pull a fantastic performance out of him. Brad Furman, who also did Lincoln Lawyer, which is a great one to rent. Yeah, he's a good dude.
And John Leguizamo was one of the redeeming factors of Bloodline season 2.
Totally
he
true.
He drove that whole season, and that season was good. But John Leguizamo made it great.
And finally, we're going to talk about a film that has had me singing this all day. Captain Fantastic, Bubba Bombastic, it's got Viggo Mortensen in it. Captain Fantastic. Again, this is a film that is so by the numbers, but oh my good Lord, if Viggo Mortensen is not just a phenomenon to watch. If you know anything about Doc Paskowitz, who was a real person, who sort of took his family off the grid so that they could go and surf and live off of the land, this is very similar to that. There is a family tragedy and Viggo Mortensen is left with his brood of children and they go on sort of a road adventure. What you might not expect from that photo is that this film is present day. And there's some great supporting cast members in it, like Catherine Hahn, who's really good, but it is coming of age. It's a coming of age story for the children. It's a coming of age story for Viggo Mortensen. But if you want to see amazing acting, see The Infiltrator, and damn, Viggo Mortensen and Captain Fantastic. And if you want to know why television is now like basically independent film, watch Norman Lear, Another Version of Us. So that's your homework, kids. And if you haven't seen Tickled, you are depriving yourself.
Yeah, do it. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you,
David.
Oh my God,
David.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
you so much for being here.
When we come back, we're going to have Ken Nabzok with
The news.
Welcome back to the second break, Schmoville. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. I know me and Cody are probably running around scrambling to fix things, fix cameras. I'm sure the mic was loud. I'm sure we missed a picture. But hey, you guys are having fun, right? Right? Anyways, I know you guys enjoy movies. I love movies too. And the best way to enjoy movies besides the Schmoes No Show is Collider. You guys should definitely check out Collider's YouTube channel. They have so many different and fun and exciting shows for you guys to check out. And they also have Movie Talk where they talk movies every single day. So here's a clip from that.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Collider Movie Talk set every weekday at 11 a.m. This is the show where we talk about, what is it again?
The show is called Movie Talk.
Yeah.
So obviously we talk about movies.
I was going to guess that.
Yeah, there's things that we do here where we talk about things and other things, and we...
You know what? No.
Not doing it? Well, I'm not going to do this because I'm not great at it, but we have the director of studio operations himself, Dennis Zhang. What the hell do we do on Movie Talk?
Well, we have a lot of fun, but every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, we talk about movie news, trailers, photos, casting news. We do a buy or sell segment. We do mailbag. We talk about movies that are coming out in the near future, in the far future. Sometimes we talk about old movies in the past that are favorites, movies that we didn't like. It's you guys, myself, John Schnepp, and a bunch of rotating cast of members.
Yeah, look, Mark and I, we're kidding around. We love being part of Movie Talk. We've been on board for the last 2 years. It's been nothing but great. There's a lot of great people here, a lot of great guests, hearing from you guys, all the segments, everything happening. If you are not already subscribed to Collider Video, do it. The link is in the description of this video that you're watching here. And watch the Sports Center for movies. That's what it is. Yeah. It's movie news. You get everything that you want in the latest in movie news. Go ahead and subscribe.
It's a fun, grand old time. Again, every weekday, 11 a.m. PST is when we kick off. That is the director of studio operations. That is the director of development. And my name is Mark.
And we'll see you soon. Talking movies.
All right, Shmova, to set up this next clip, back in the day, me, Cody, JTE, Ace, and who eventually kind of joins our little B team or Wanger crew, whatever we're called now. There's too many names to be called. But back then, we created B Team Productions, and we did a lot of fun sketch comedy stuff and some short films that eventually became Amateur Hour Films, which you guys should subscribe to right there. You can't click on it, but just go to Amateur Hour Films on YouTube. Check it out. There's a lot of fun stuff. But we do similar stuff to Movie Night, and this is from Movie Night 2. I think it was the last B Team's Productions thing that we did, but check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see the whole thing, go to the SK Podcast channel. It's up there. And hey, Movie Night 3. You guys want it to happen? I don't know. Tweet at us. Do it. Enjoy the clip.
Speed 2, cruise control.
He did not say stop. He did not just bring cruise control. Your first time at a movie night, you're gonna bring that weak shit in here? No.
Are you shitting me, Ace? I trusted you. You're gonna pull that shit with me. What the hell's wrong with you? Ace, this is your fault.
Get that shit out of here, man. I'm not bringing cruise control to this house.
Do you even like movies, boy?
All right, Schmo, before I show you guys the final clip of the night, I'm going to tell you how you can win a digital HD download code for Kung Fu Panda 3. Look at a little cute panda. You're a little cute panda. Panda! If you guys know where that's from, you're fucking awesome. If you honestly know where that's from, you're fucking incredibly awesome. But you know who is incredibly awesome? Benjamin Workman, who actually gave us his digital HD download code. He's a fan of the show, and he gave us a couple to give out to you guys. So give this dude some props on Twitter. Tweet at him saying he's an awesome fucking guy, because he is. Because, hey, Kung Fu Panda 3, fun movie. He gave us a lot more that we're probably going to be giving out too. So, how you guys can win that is right now on the Schmoes Know Instagram. Boom, right there. There's going to be 2 people on there of your favorite Schmoes Know characters making funny faces. Tell us who made the funnier face and why. Comment on the Schmoes Know Instagram and tell us that. I'll choose a winner and post it up on the Instagram on Monday so you guys can have fun with that. So comment on it. You guys can win digital HD download code for Kung Fu Panda 3. And the final clip of the night, Schmoville, goes all the way back to Phase 3, back when Mark Riley, Josh Makuga, and JTI, not JTE, JTI, all hosted the Schmoes Know Show while Mark and Christian were off doing stuff at Comic-Con. I believe this was back in 2012, and this is sort of honor of us preparing for Comic-Con in a few weeks, and the shitstorm of news about to head our way. This is like the time, the busiest of the year, so it's just gonna get crazy, but I think it was a really fun clip to go to. I hope you guys enjoyed this break. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter at Copster15. If you guys want to head on over to my YouTube channel, subscribe there. I mean, look at that funny clip. Doesn't that look funny? Laugh. There. Good. Thank you. Do all that stuff. I would really appreciate it. And hey, enjoy the rest of the show.
Is great is that this is going to, because they got the Emmy noms and because people are seeing it, this is going to lead to bigger and better things for pay internet TV, and it's going to open up way more windows for scripted television that we need, because networks won't take a risk on scripted television, but these pay channels will, and that's fantastic for all of us TV writers and all of us TV actors and people that want to be on television.
Now, who do you see winning this category? Do you think it's Cranston, or do you think Spacey could sneak in there?
Well, I don't think it's going to be Jeff Daniels. He was great.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be Damian Lewis again. For some reason, and I don't think it's going to be Hugh Bonneville. I think it's between Cranston and
Ham.
Yeah. See, I never got to Mad Men.
I'm going to go with John Hamm.
What a crazy break we had here. Cats kicking the shit out of people, and it is time for the Schmo Show to return. We are here with Josh Makuga, Sasha Proraver, and Mike Tyson. Guys, so during the break, we would like to apologize
profusely
to
apologize.
the director of Tickled, who was assaulted by this
Let me
cat.
say, my cat has...
Gotta get that cat out of here. I'm serious.
Fuck this.
Put the cat on the floor. Put the cat on the floor.
Fuck this.
Don't touch the cat, Miri.
It's always those people. It's always the people say, "Well, my cat's never did this," until it eats 6 faces. So nice to see you,
Christ,
Makuga.
good to see you.
Get
over here on the good
Except
side.
tonight, he just looked at me and he went, "This is literally what this cat just did."
He's never attacked anyone. And David was like, "Can I hold him?" And I said, "Yes."
And he
then
hissed at him.
He
And
hit
the
him.
first time he picked him up, when he hissed, you're like, "Oh, it's okay." I looked at him right now and said, "That's a violent cat. I am out of here."
He's not a violent cat. He's a good cat.
He just punched the director of Tickled in the nose.
I am
no,
sorry.
I saw the cat. He didn't just like reach over and like get away from me. The poor director was standing there like ready to take a picture. This fucking cat reaches over and cracks him in the nose.
Right cross.
It was Tyson Spinks.
Yeah.
And the poor guy, the director was, David was
such a sweetheart
a
about it.
sweetheart
I
of a
feel
guy.
so bad.
He was so cool about it, and he was just like,
I saw
he said,
that.
"No, I'm cool, I'm cool." And he could have been a
so
dick about it.
nice.
He
I
was
know,
so
I feel
cool.
so terrible.
He was so cool about it, so
But
nice
now
about
Miri's
it.
on the floor petting him, and he's totally
Of
fine.
course he likes Miri, and he hates us. It's. I mean, holy shit! Does he not like dudes?
He loves dudes. He loves his daddy.
He just.
Well, that cat sucks.
I'm sitting. No! Don't do it. We're on the air. Don't you do it, Sasha.
I swear to
There's a
God.
lawsuit. It's a lawsuit. This is. I mean.
You said I wasn't allergic to your cat. I
RB
haven't stopped sneezing
Is
since your cat
RB3
got here.
Psychosomatic.
RB3 left also. RB3, you just got a lot of video that you didn't realize.
He was interviewing the director.
How's
his face bleeding?
RB3, sit down over there. Sit down over there.
Oh my God.
Everything's
That was the
fine.
funniest saying I think I've ever
holy
heard.
shit, everything's fine. Says
Oh.
you.
Oh my god. Well, that cat sucks.
Sup? Sup, bro?
Pet him like a villain.
Yeah.
No, there he goes again.
The
Why
cat
is he
should be
yelling?
petting. The cat should be petting Sasha like a villain because he's the villain.
RB3. RB3. So, did you guys talk about the cat attack?
Jerk.
Yeah, we talked about the cat.
New Zealand egg.
Sorry. Did we talk about the cat attack?
Yeah.
All right. What did he say?
Well, he said he was a little disturbed.
And this is coming from the director of Tickled, and he was disturbed by this
Oh
cat.
my god.
It was very unexpected. He was like, man, I don't know what, damn cat just messed up my face,
Oh my god.
What did he say?
No, he was he was fine with it. It caught him off guard.
No shit. It was a fucking
He's never
cat
been
punching
hit.
him in the nose.
I think nobody's ever been
It
hit
was
in
the
face.
lower nose. It was the upper lip.
It was his face. The poor guy. So
He's
please go
never
see
done
this guy's
that.
movie
He's
now.
Never done that.
Please go see his movie. Oh my god.
not
if we
get
could-
sued
Oh my
because
god.
of this
we can
friggin'
do
cat.
Oh, I'm
anything.
sweating.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Can we hear about the news?
Yeah, well, we can hear about Blue Apron because I got to transition into that from cats to Blue Apron. Blue Apron, guys, I've been talking about it for a long time. Come on, can't send this ad. You know what Blue Apron is?
Delicious.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about Blue Apron. I'll let you guys know about it. I actually have been really pleased with Blue Apron. I have been getting all these packages that have been sent to me, and it's great. For less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasoned recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. They have new recipes that are created each week by Blue Apron's culinary team and are not repeated within a year. It's super flexible, guys. You customize your own recipes each week based on your preferences. You choose delivery options to fit your needs. There's no weekly commitment, so you only get deliveries when you want them. And it is super easy. I've been throwing stuff on grills, not in the alleys, but I've been cooking them up, and each meal comes with a step-by-step. No, but I've been cooking a lot of the stuff. Their meats are delicious. Everything that they have, the ingredients, it comes with an easy step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card and pre-portioned ingredients and can be pre-prepared in 40 minutes or less. Check out this week's menu. Get your first 3. This is the best deal. I'm telling you, everyone, you had Brett's mom did it. Yeah. I was talking about people like just at parties. People have been trying. My buddy David Gambino has been on the show. He uses it as well. This is really great. You go check out this week's menu. Get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/schmoes. That's all you got to do to get, again, first 3 meals free shipping. You'll love how it feels. It tastes great. It creates incredibly home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. blueapron.com/schmoes. The link is in the description. All right, now moving on. Where is that cat?
He's right under me.
All right.
Everything's fine. You're
Fine.
safe.
We are here today. I'm sure there's going to be some more cat talk in this portion, and it is the news.
Cat over there.
Lost
That's
our
why I
show
like
right
ferrets. I'm Ken Absock, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by Collider.com. And our top story of the week. Stand by, eye on control. We're going to get some big chunks of Star Wars news right quick with Star Wars Celebrations London around the corner. It was announced this week that a special documentary called Secrets of Force Awakens, a cinematic journey will air on ABC Friday night, July 15th. And as part of that special, the second trailer for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, will debut. The trailer is said to be 3 minutes in length, and 40% of it will just be footage of Mads Mikkelsen spoiling the plot in interviews. No word on whether or not Darth Vader will be seen in the trailer, but this reporter, for one, will be in his Darth Vader pajamas while watching the special, so it's kind of the same thing. If you're not going to be able to see the special and fear you'll miss out on the trailer, don't worry. It'll most likely be shown earlier in the day at the Rogue One panel and then leaked. So there will be over 42,000 reaction videos released within the hour. So if you still don't see the trailer after all that, stay put, because the FBI is on the way to arrest you in your powerless one-room cabin where you're plotting your revenge. Rogue One, There and Back Again, will be released in December. Spider-Man Homecoming is well into production in Atlanta, but new cast members are still being added. The newest actor to join the adventures of young Spider-Man as he tries to navigate the tricky waters of high school prom and awkward boners in his superhero leotard is Angourie Rice. Angourie Rice. Angie Rice. Rice recently held her own against Ryan Gosling or Russell Crowe and Shane Black's The Nice Guys as Gosling's daughter. No word yet on the role she'll be playing, but she probably won't have an action figure of the character released anyway. Spider-Man Homecoming hits theaters in July 2017. Unfortunately, Idris Elba may never get the chance to be James Bond, but he still has an ever-growing and expanding career, and now, like many actors before him, Elba will soon add director to his resume. He will be helming an adaptation of Victor Headley's novel Yardie, a tale about a cocaine courier transporting the drug from Jamaica to London. Bronson screenwriter Brock Norman Brock wrote the script, hopefully with none of the typos his name has. Studio Canal will put out the picture, and Idris Elba will put out the fire in your wife's heart. Ever so often, the rumors of a sequel to the 1985 classic kids movie The Goonies surfaces and gets the hopes up of an entire generation of 80s kids. The film screenwriter Chris Columbus and director Richard Donner both expressed their desire to do it, with Donner saying in 2014 that the movie was happening. Co-star Sean Astin said last fall that he was confident the sequel was happening, and the guy who played Chunk keeps telling the guy at the corner market that's happening for sure. But this week, Corey Feldman, one of the film's breakout stars, if you stopped watching movies after 1989, said he doubts that the movie will ever get made. It's not for lack of interest, he says. It's because no one would want to do it without Donner's involvement. And quite frankly, Feldman feels the director is too old at 87. He added he's the driving force behind it if he stays alive. If he says it's alive, as we all know, when you get to that age, things slow down quite a bit. There's a big possibility that he might want to not keep driving it, so I think without him it doesn't happen. And every day that passes that he doesn't do it, there's less and less chance that it's ever going to happen. So if you're feeling good about life and enjoying your day, just remember that we're all slowly dying, and there's nothing you or your precious Western doctors can do to stop time from rolling on without you, and your legacy will be as good as Corey Feldman wants it to be. 2 TV spots for the upcoming Ghostbusters film that I'm sure no one has an opinion on were released this week. And one of these short spots seemed to reveal a female ghost to accompany the iconic Slimer. The spot, however, was later taken down. So it comes to this. Scared, insecure men everywhere, they're taking our ghosts as well. It wasn't enough that they allowed 4 wonderfully talented females a chance to fight the ghosts and be heroes we need instead of some of our favorite aging comedy men who already had their chance, one of whom starred in Nothing But Trouble. Now they're taking our ghosts. Gentlemen, our grandfathers didn't fight in world wars to help defend a society that will one day give equal opportunity to comical ghosts of all genders and identities. What's next? Chris Hemsworth will be tasked with playing the comical sidekick? So, join me in my campaign to stay stuck in the past and live a life afraid of empowered people with my hashtag #GhostPenis. Ghostbusters, sure to start a dumpster fire of social commentary, opens July 15th. After 75 years of defending the ideals and people of this great country, a fake comic book character will be getting a commemorative statue for all of us to praise. That's right, Captain America will soon be a 13-foot bronze statue. The statue will first appear at this year's San Diego Comic-Con and will then make the trek across country to its final resting place in Brooklyn, where it will be a beacon of light and hope for all the homeless people that will pee on it. 1-foot bronze and 3-foot pewter replicas of the statue will also be available if you want your girlfriend to leave you sooner than later. Vivian Kubrick, daughter of the late legendary director Stanley Kubrick, took to the internet to refute the long-held conspiracy theory that her father took part in faking the moon landing for the U.S. government in 1969. Urban legend and tinfoil hat theories have long proposed that the government used Kubrick to film portions of the moon landing, and a giant conspiracy to make the world think we are first and better than the Russians at bouncing around a giant space rock. In a written statement released on her Twitter feed, Vivian vehemently shot down the notion that her father was involved, focusing on the notion that his integrity as an artist and political social consciousness would have kept him from taking part in such a large-scale betrayal of the U.S. government's own people. She also pointed out that she happened to know Stanley Kubrick and felt pretty certain that he never took part in this conspiracy, despite whatever clues you feel he left in The Shining. So, with Stanley Kubrick eliminated from such preposterous conspiracies, the focus turns to the #1 suspect, a time-traveling Michael Bay. When reached for a comment about the story, Buzz Aldrin punched me. And finally, just today, we learned that when Star Trek Beyond is released later this month, Sulu will be gay, because in space, no one cares about your hang-ups. I'm Ken Knapsack, and those were your Schmoes No Headlines.
Great. Kenny, I got a question for you, though, because I know sometimes you write the joke because the joke is there too, but I wanted to get your opinion on the Ghostbusters thing.
Sure.
Because I've heard you talk about it. Do you think, though, from all the negative backlash with Ghostbusters, do you think it's solely that people are hung up in the past, or was a part of the joke, or do you think that it's partially because the trailers have been shitty, or you don't think that? I'm just curious where your real head is on that one.
My real head on it is that a lot of times these days we all like to get behind certain causes, and it's an era where you can type 140 characters and believe in your causes no matter how crazy you are, and then the next person hears it, the next person hears it. So someone somewhere went, the women are Ghostbusters, and then it carries on, and each generation gets more and more crazy about it, when the first person might have been, oh, that's weird, I would have rather had Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. So I think it builds and builds and builds, and there's some real idiots out there. But you can't base real life on YouTube comments. Those aren't real people, all right? Those aren't real people, and that's not the real opinions of the general populace, all right? But I think you get these hashtags going, you get people, and people just want to jump on who don't even really have an opinion. Personally, I hope the movie's great. I've already heard some early reviews. I hope the movie's great.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but I also think it's also a movie business that does not allow for mistakes.
Yes, I mean, I agree with a lot of that, but I will also say I don't think it's fair to everyone who doesn't like the trailer. And I think that, because I think what's unfortunate is that because there are some people out there like you're talking about, that if you don't like the trailer, or if you have negative things to say about the movie, then you're getting lumped in with people who might be sexist or might just be being ignorant. Well, there certainly are people out there that are like that. But I will say, I have not liked anything I have seen from this movie so far. However, I love Paul Feig. I am rooting for Paul Feig. I'm rooting for all those girls. The movie looks like shit to me. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I don't hate the fact that there's women Ghostbusters. I encourage the fact that there's women Ghostbusters. I think it was a very strong choice. I do think, though, I would much rather have it been a continuation of the story and the mythology. I think that it would add it into everything that the Ghostbusters were, and then giving us some 4 new strong female characters to carry this along. That's something I was rooting for. It has nothing to do with me. If you would have had that same damn trailer for me, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but if that same trailer in the tone with 4 dudes, I'm still saying it looks like shit. It looks like shit. But I could come out of this and say, boy, was I wrong. And I'm glad I'm wrong, because like I said, I am rooting for Paul Feig. I loved The Heat. Loved it. Loved The Heat. Really enjoyed Spy. Really enjoyed Bridesmaids. I am rooting for this movie. I just am not encouraged. Sasha, how do you feel about the fact that we know that there are people out there that just see 4 women in Ghostbusters outfits and say, how dare they put women in those roles? But there are, like the trailer, some people have not liked this trailer for the movie. What are your opinions on it?
Okay, so I saw the trailer for The Heat and I was like, that looks like garbage.
Right.
And then I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. I saw the trailer for Spy and I was like, I'm not spending money on that. That looked terrible. And I loved that movie. That movie is hysterical. With this, I mean, the people who were like, put Dan Aykroyd in it. I say to you, Blues Brothers 2000. Like, at a certain point, Dan Aykroyd kind of was like, I don't care that much anymore. Bill Murray still churns out great stuff, but he's much better in a darker place, like in a Lost in Translation or in a St. Vincent. I don't really know that he wants to go back to that same old thing. And when I think about movies that are being remade, I always go back to like Point Break. Why do a new version of that? Do we need a new Ghostbusters? Probably not. Did we need another Jurassic World? Probably not. Will people still turn out in droves for it? I hope so, because my feminism precludes me from rooting against this movie. I'm gonna see it on Saturday. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I want it to be amazing. I want it to prove everybody wrong, including myself, because I don't love the trailers. Right. But again, I feel like this is part of the conversation we were having earlier about nostalgia versus like the cash grab. Do people want to see this because we remember it fondly, or do people want to see this or not want to see this because of what came before it? I think that Paul Feig's great. I think Kate McKinnon's fantastic. I want her to have a breakout role. I don't know. Yeah. And I will reserve judgment until Saturday. Makuga, you look very, very
perplexed.
Constipated.
There's so many things. There's so many things that go. Yeah, well, first of all, that cat.
He's right here.
I love how Sasha comes in. She's like, "You cannot be allergic to my cat." There's been a frog in my throat since that cat has come to the thing. I've never sneezed on the set. I've worked here for a year and a half. I've never sneezed.
Year and a half.
And I've sneezed and I'm sneezing.
Psychosomatic.
No, whatever the case may be. Anyway. There's so many things that go through my head when thinking about this new Ghostbusters, because I know I'm in a minority that thinks that Ghostbusters 2 was better than the first Ghostbusters.
You are in the minority.
And
yeah.
in a very I know that. I love both of those movies. I think that they could have done this movie via what I've seen from the trailer. Obviously, I haven't seen the movie yet. There's some people that I know that are seeing it right now, so I will hear from them tomorrow, and they'll tell me all about it. And I'm sure but I love this franchise. I love the cartoon. I love the Ecto Cooler.
I love the cereal.
I love the cereal. I loved everything about it. When I lived in New York, I lived really close to where that Ghostbusters fire station was. And I would walk by it and I would get like kind of chills because it was such a cool thing, right? Yeah. And there's so much fun they could have done with this movie to make it a continuation to like another franchise.
But we don't know if they haven't yet. We don't know if they haven't yet. Yeah.
But there are, if it comes out and we see it and we're just like, God, they just like really missed the boat, then I'm going to be kind of disappointed because the genius minds that are in not only in this movie but behind this movie, like they couldn't have just sat around a table and been like, this is the idea we're going with, and then botched it as bad as we're seeing in the trailers.
Okay,
because Bridesmaids was incredible.
Pitch me your movie. What's your movie?
My movie is legit 30 years later or 25 years later.
Still in the lore. Still in the lore already. Yeah.
Right. Is that these Ghostbusters have been fighting ghosts here and there. There have been like a couple outbreaks, and they like at the beginning we see like headlines of newspapers, right? And it's like they've done it, and then it cuts to the fire station, and they're sitting there, and like the phone hasn't rung in like 35 days because like they're like we got rid of all the ghosts, right? And they're just fat old dudes. That's what they are. They're just like dudes, and there's this breakout, and like they are helping like a new generation, and like they're like, let me train you how to be a Ghostbuster, and then it cuts and they're like napping or something like that, where it's a continuation of the lore. Right. It's not a reboot. Like there's ghosts. Oh my God, there's ghosts. There was ghosts 30 years ago, bro.
Passing of the torch.
Correct.
Yeah, passing of the torch would have been something I would have been cool with because to me it would also have been an actual passing of the torch of these great comedians to this new generation of comedians. Yep. So I would have liked to have seen that, not just a silly cameo. But anyway,
I just want Rick Moranis to show up. I know that's not going to happen, but that's all I want.
Yeah.
And also that.
I don't think so.
The hardest part for me in the trailer too is like, here, let's throw Leslie Jones into a stereotype. That's the like, it's like, oh, I'm a loud black woman that only knows the subway and I know the city and everybody else is just a white genius. Like that's just like, it's like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Apparently, I think Ernie Hudson does play her dad or something.
Ernie Hudson pretty much played that part first time around too. Pretty
much.
No,
he was a genius.
Yeah, he wasn't a genius.
He wasn't a genius.
No.
No.
But he wasn't. I understand what you're saying.
But he was more of like, I feel like stereotypes are kind of what that movie was like bred on.
Yeah, but I mean,
like Rick Moranis, like I'm the nerdy guy who lives next door, but I'm the keymaster.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, the movie comes out very soon. I know that some people are already from our crew are going to see it
right
tonight.
Now.
I'm going to see it on Tuesday. You're seeing it Saturday?
I'm seeing it Saturday.
You're seeing it Saturday. Okay, so before we move on to our next story, reminder, we're giving away 2 copies of Batman vs. Superman, The Ultimate Cut. First way to do it, make sure that you retweet the live link. It's on the Schmoes Twitter feed right now. Go and do that. Retweet it. Get yourself a copy of that Ultimate Edition. The other way to do it is that we're going to be giving it away. You have to go and you have to join the Schmoville Facebook group. Thank you. Go to Schmoville Facebook group. Go and join there. We will announce a winner on Wednesday. And the way we will do it is we're going to have Cobby Clop Clop Clobby is going to go in there on Wednesday and show up. And he's going to ask you one question. But you got to be a member on Schmoville. He's going to ask one question. Inside of that question, then you guys will win a copy of the Blu-ray. But you have to join Schmoville in order to find out when that's coming. It's going to come on Wednesday. That's how you can win. So I want to give people who are watching on the replay a chance to win as well. The other thing is that we have 2 copies of I Saw the Light with Tom Hiddleston, and yes, it is the story of Hank Williams. 2 copies of that movie tonight. Riley, you want to do another Schmoville contest that we can announce a little later? Or you want to do that now?
Sure, I'll figure something out.
Let's do a retweet. Let's do one retweet. We can do the retweet from let's go from your account.
My account?
Okay. Right now, I got an idea. Let's just do, how about this? Schmoville, tweet at both Mark Riley and Dan Merle and give your honest opinion on who you think's going to win tomorrow and hashtag it Schmodown. Riley's probably going to pick somebody. I'm going to let Riley pick who the winner is, so be smart on who you choose going to win. but be fair. But be fair. Go to Twitter, hashtag both Dan Merle, which is at MerleDan, and Riley Around. Hashtag it Schmodown, and you can win a copy of I Saw the Light. Go ahead and do that. We'll announce winner at the end. Goonies 2 is dead. Does anyone care?
No, this is part of the thing that we were just talking about.
Don't do sequels.
Oh my God, have an original thought.
No, I'm just saying at this
Updated
point.
sequels, like Zoolander and stuff. Yeah.
Ugh, too long dead. Don't bring it back. Like,
Correct.
let it be what it was, which was perfect.
It was a beautiful coming of age tale.
Yeah.
Rescue and
You're gonna get
nostalgia.
Josh Brolin back in there. Give
I
me a
don't
break.
disagree with you guys at all.
Come on.
Unfortunately, I want to disagree here and say, nah, they can make it work. You can't make it work. They can't capture that magic. And a lot of people, and what breaks my heart, and I understand it, what breaks my heart is a lot of people go, if you've never seen that movie and you visit it now, it doesn't work for some people. Like, it's dated for some. For me, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It just, I'm telling you, like, I know some people that have seen it like for the first time, and someone saw, I can't remember who it was. Someone saw it like recently. Said they saw. I know Catherine Reitman didn't like it, our old co-host, and then but there are other people who would check it out, saw it, and just said, nah, it didn't work for me. And I don't know if the second one could capture the magic of the 80s the way that the first one did. I just don't know if it can happen. So I think it's probably a good thing.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
Donner is too old right now.
That's what 87? 87 is, I mean, he has turned out great work, but it's time. Like, let him live in, like, happy retirement, maybe producing stuff.
Yeah. Kenny, do you ever see the first Goonies?
I have seen the first Goonies.
And should they make a second one?
What's that?
Should they make a second
Nah,
one?
it's too late.
It's done.
It's too late. It's done. It's done.
Riley, you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do not want to see a sequel where the kids that were the original Goonies go on an adventure, because that's what they're going to do if they do it.
They said it was going to be their kids.
And I just don't believe anybody is going to come back for that. I don't think. I think what Corey Feldman is saying is correct.
Yeah.
Donner is not going to do it. And if he's not going to do it, what's the point? It's time to let it go.
You could see the plot line from a mile away, right?
Yeah.
Like Chunk got skinny because we know that happened in real life.
Yeah, and you told him. You told him at the whatever
Isn't
it was.
he a lawyer
Billy Joel
now?
concert.
He's a lawyer. We
Yeah.
went to the Billy Joel
You ever
concert.
hear this story?
No.
And
Me and
to be
Captain Kick-Ass
well,
go
to be
to
fair,
Billy
we
Joel.
were pretty stoned.
Yeah.
And we walked up and we saw. And I knew it was Jackie Gold, but it was Chunk, and I knew I've seen him a few times. He's super skinny. He's a lawyer now. Yeah. And we're standing there, and then McCoo goes, like, as we're talking, I couldn't believe McCoo doesn't do stuff like this.
Never.
And so we're standing there together, and Jackie Gold and I call the guy Chunk are sitting there, and we're having a conversation, the four of us, and you see the look in McCouga's face as it registers in his head, and this is the middle of a conversation, and he goes, Chunk, and
Chunk from Goonies, and Karloff just goes,
No, I didn't. I stepped away. And then, because he said to me after, he goes, why'd you walk away? I was like,
second-hand embarrassment kills.
But I also said it was really funny, though. The moment was funny, like, because it worked for the joke.
And then I felt so awkward, and I had my pockets stuffed with airplane
amazing.
liquor bottles, and I was like, "Here, do you want a liquor bottle?" Like, I felt so
and then
bad.
you say,
about it,
like,
so
"No,
awkward.
dude, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm good. He's like, smart. That's good.
You should have Baby Ruth. That would have been better.
Oh,
but yeah, so
Whoopsie-daisy, guys.
yeah. That's a good story.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got two words for you. Oh my, George Takei. How do we feel about him? So he is not happy that Sulu is going to be gay.
Yeah, he's not.
Which is interesting here because obviously George Takei, proud gay man who is now played the character of Sulu, but says that wasn't who the character was, and make another character gay. Now, what's wrong?
I just feel like it's
a
so
shtick?
it's so egotistical. Like whoever wants to be gay
Sasha.
can be gay.
Oh my!
I love George Takei, but it's
too.
ridiculous. It feels like he's like, that's my Sulu. Like only my Sulu can be gay.
No, he wasn't saying
No,
that.
no,
that's
I
not
get
what
it.
you're
I
saying.
get it. But I'm like, what do you mean it's not the character?
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break. Let it be. Let them make the story that they want to make. But I do love him as a human being, and his Twitter feed is hilarious.
Keep that cat away from me.
It's going John Lovitz, buddy. It's going a little Lovitz.
No, John Lovitz is a little higher here. Thank you. Nice try.
Nice try, Jack.
Who's that cat gonna kill next? Ha ha. Go ahead, buddy. Tell me your thoughts on Sulu.
Do not bring that cat up here.
Fuck
I'm
that.
fucking serious, Sasha. Get that shitty cat out of here.
Don't call it. Wild man's back. All right, come on. Tell us
I
what you
will
think.
throw a microphone at that
No,
cat.
you won't.
No,
Let's
I
go.
won't.
Come on.
But I'll throw water at it.
Come on. Let's go. The cats can't swim. Let's go.
I think.
How dare you?
I think that the thing that George Takei is saying is that, like,
Takei.
Rodden.
Put it away.
Seriously.
Put it away.
Seriously.
He has a gender.
Not tonight. It
I
doesn't.
see the claws coming out of the cat's
He is a
paws.
criminal. He is a criminal.
Well, he still has a gender.
He is an abusive pet. All right. Cat is... Yeah, no one can... You guys are just screaming like animals. Thank you. We got Cody, the one guy. He's like, shut up, morons. All right.
Go ahead,
Thank you.
Kuga.
There you
Please, go ahead.
Put it down.
All right.
I think what George Takei is trying to say here is that
Takei.
Was that Roddenberry, who's the creator of Star Trek and that the maker of that whole universe back in the day, and he talks about him being at this pool party back in the day, and he's saying that he couldn't go out on a limb again or they wouldn't have the show, and the show was canceled a year later anyhow. That Sulu wasn't gay. That they could have. So Roddenberry's vision wasn't that Sulu was gay. Is the fact that now you could have another character that is gay, but that Sulu, in fact, wasn't Roddenberry's vision that he was gay. That being said, embrace the gay now. Like, what's the big deal? That was 50 plus years ago. I mean, it's the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. You're an openly gay man. I understand that he thinks that they're doing it to pay homage to George Takei, but I don't think it. Why come out and say like it wasn't Roddenberry's vision? It was the '60s. That was nobody's vision of anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Gay wasn't even a thing.
Even if he
Embrace
wanted to.
the gay. That's the smartest thing you've ever said, Makuga.
Hashtag.
Embrace the gay.
Kenny Riley, how are you feeling about this?
Well, I think it's interesting too. George isn't just having this opinion. He actually told them 3 times, don't do this. He told the actor, who, when he let him know, he said, don't do it. Simon Pegg wrote him, and he actually, in this article, takes some shots at Pegg and says, I had no idea why this guy was writing me. It was like a fan letter. I thought maybe I got across to them. And then director himself, Justin Lin, called him, and George said, don't do this. I don't want this. Don't do this. And they were like, but it's for you. And he was like, don't want it. Don't do it. It's really interesting. It's a really interesting subplot.
Where can they find that?
Hollywood Reporter.
I'm on Dark Horizons, and I go from there to link to other stories.
There was an article that what he's referencing is the Hollywood Reporter came out because they interviewed Takei for his comments, and he actually said it's because that was what originally Roddenberry wanted. He did this extensive planning for these characters and always wanted Sulu to be heterosexual. That's what Takei said. So he wanted to honor that wish by Roddenberry. And so by telling him not to do this, it's fascinating to me that this happened.
It's weird. It's weird because if you read it, like Simon Pegg's writing him a nice thing. Hey, you're such a good activist in this community, all this thing, and he's like, I don't care. Why is this guy writing me? I asked them not to do this.
That's so weird. That's so out of character, seemingly.
Yeah,
it is a little bit. Yeah, but
oh well. All right, moving on. We were supposed to have both Finstock and JTE here tonight. They were supposed to do box. Well, to be fair, JTE said he couldn't be here tonight, but Finstock was supposed to be here.
Those guys are about as dependable as Chipotle chicken.
Well, Finstock pissed me off. Though. Chipotle what?
Chipotle chicken.
You don't like? Oh yeah.
Cola.
All right. Well, let's call. You don't want to call. JT has too many nicknames, so not call me E. coli. But yeah, Little Evil, to his credit, said he couldn't be here. Though Kenny said he never checks the schedule anyway, right? What did he say?
Usually every Thursday when you drive into work, or sometimes when we're driving over here from Screen Junkies to get to the show, he'll turn to me and go, am I doing anything on the show tonight? I go, Mary, the tall lady that produces the show, sends out an email like Monday or Tuesday. You check it. Am I on the show tonight? No.
Oh, JT. But happens. Little Evil, though, we knew he wasn't going to be here. Finstock has been a friend of mine for a long time. He shit the bed tonight, and I'm pissed off at him. And I'll say it on the air, and I said it to him in text. Little fucker, he does this all the time.
He does.
We
love him.
Oh, wait. You know what? Tell your story, Riley. Tell your story.
God, this is... All right, so
I can't. Okay.
Yeah, we talk. We might as well. We're throwing Swayze under the bus here.
I should have had Jason here. Did you hear this? I should have brought Jason. Jason could have vented about how much he hates him too.
Oh yeah, well.
Oh, he doesn't like Finstock.
Remember?
Oh right. But this is I still like Finstock. But this is what he does. This type of stuff.
So this past weekend we were in Palm Springs. I took my lady. He was with his lady. We had a nice weekend. Some swimming, some drinks, some barbecuing, all that. I brought Cal. My dog Cal came with us.
The best.
And a couple of our other friends were coming down, that Christian's friend that I met, DJ and Eric, and they were on their way down. Now, nobody mentioned that they were bringing a dog. And nobody told them that there was a dog there. So we were all waiting Friday night, and all of a sudden this dog comes running into the kitchen, caught us completely off guard. Guess who starts a fight? My dog and this dog.
Oh, no.
And the dog that came in ended up getting sliced down the ear. They for 5 minutes they were there, turned right around and left, and went to the vet.
Because Finstock doesn't tell anybody.
3
He just
stitches
brings in
later,
a dog.
and Finstock, his girlfriend was so pissed. Finstock's like, yeah, God, I really should have told you a dog was coming.
And you can see it. You know what? I'm switching the Batman v Superman contest. I'm switching the second one. I want all of Schmoville to tweet at Bob Finstock. And I want you guys to tweet at him unmercifully right now and say, how could you let us down and not be here tonight? We were counting on you for Box Office Breakdown.
Nice.
We were counting, like, mercilessly. What did I say? Whatever I said. It doesn't matter. I'll be JT tonight. I don't give a shit. Thanks, Mom. So let's go.
She's the tall lady.
Go
that produces
bananas
the show.
and at Bob Finstock, the person that has, and I don't want you to be mean, but go and the person who really gets at him the best. I want him to be bombarded with tweets right now, and the person who gets him the best. Yeah, I want it to be brutal. The person that gets him the best will get a Batman v Superman. Yeah, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, but you have to hashtag it Schmoes Know so we can see it. So make sure at Bob Finstock. He was supposed to be here. He's not here. He let the crew down. He let you guys down. Have at it. Go at Bob Finstock. At Bob Finstock. Let that masked fucker know that he cannot do this to Schmoville. He can't do this to Schmoes. I want it relentless. I want you to just keep going, and I'm going to give you a Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition if you do it. Just tear at this hump. I want him done.
Yeah.
So what he
like
does, and this bastard, what he does tonight, I mean, so he tells me, he's like, I text him. First of all, I had cops to do it because we're sitting there. You guys were interviewing David, the soon-to-be cat victim, and I
dismembered only slightly.
Dismembered just slightly, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, where's Finstock? I'm like, has anyone heard from him? I'm like, no. You would assume that he's coming then. Then Copsters is like, oh, he's trying to make it over from Santa Monica. He's gonna be here in 6 months from now in Santa Monica. So I write him back. I'm like, what do you say? Oh, I had a job and I got out around like 6:15. I'm like, text someone. Text someone. Just let us know. We have the whole thing here. So text someone. So I'm like, you know what? Like I said, Finstock's been my friend for 15 years. I'm talking about it on the air. I threw JT under the bus on the air when he did something. Finstock, you're getting it too. I want Schmoville to go relentless.
Okay, so in their spirit, let's say Box Office Breakdown, what's going to happen this week? We've got Secret Life of Pets opening.
Life of Pets.
I'm saying it's opening at 80.
It's a good call. What's the other one? Is the Fathers and Daughters, right? Mike and Dave.
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah, that's gonna eat it.
I think that's gonna shit the bed.
Yeah,
I think that'll get
rightly so.
Yeah,
like 11.7 million. I'm giving it.
So you're saying, so
Mike
hold on,
you're saying my money back.
You're saying 80. You're saying 80.
I'm saying 80 for Secret Life.
80 Secret Life, and 11 for Mike and Dave.
Yeah, but in between that, you're gonna have another. You're gonna have Dory.
Yeah.
With I'm gonna say 27.
Okay.
Maybe 24. Make it 24.
24 for
24.
All right, 24. Secret Life Pets at 80.
Dory at 24. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates at 11.7.
Yeah, but that's not going to be in third.
Yeah, so we got, let's see.
What does that say?
Way to bring it down.
Try and be professional.
Yeah, great.
We're just trying to
yeah. All right. So let's get into this. Secret Life.
It's okay.
What was the find the numbers for me for last week? I look over there and everybody just looks away.
Last week was Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2 was I'm brain farting.
You had your wide release.
So hard.
You had your wide release of the movie that we thought wasn't going to do that great, and
The
actually did pretty well.
Shallows was in there.
No,
that
Tarzan.
was Tarzan.
Oh, Tarzan, right.
Really nice.
All right.
Tarzan had like 38.
Yeah,
but I
so
think it's going to
41 over the 4 days.
It's going to drop
36
down to
over
like
3 days.
18 probably,
18,
maybe
I think,
16.
Yeah. Then you have you had The Shallows, and you also had Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh,
Independence
yeah,
Day Resurgence was number 5.
That's going to be gone.
So what was number 3 though?
Can somebody pull up last
Google?
week's? Thanks, Tom. You fuck. That's why. This is why he's supposed to have this stuff.
Okay. So So it's still going to be Secret Life number 1.
Yep.
Dory number 2.
Dory 2.
Tarzan 3.
Tarzan 3.
Mike and Dave 4.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Mike and Dave won't even crack the top 5.
That movie looks
maybe
so
not.
bad.
I don't disagree. Hey, Ryan, can you bring up last week's top 5?
We got it.
What is
Okay.
it? Tell us what it is.
Yell it.
Number 1 was Finding Dory.
1 was Finding Dory.
2 was Legend of Tarzan.
2 was Tarzan.
3 was Purge.
Purge. Okay,
the
Purge Anarchy. And then BFG, then Independence Day.
Yeah, I think BFG
BFG is
too.
gone.
Yeah.
Independence Day is gone.
Okay, so I'm going to go. Oh, you go. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do it.
No, I think you go Finding Dory. I'm going to go 70. 71.
You mean for Secret Life or
No,
Dory?
For Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
71. Dory's going to sit pretty at like 29. Then you've got Tarzan. I think will come in at 20, maybe 19. I'll go 19 for Tarzan. I'll go...
You think it's going to be that low of a drop for Tarzan?
For Tarzan,
Yeah,
yeah.
60%
19 for Tarzan, then 10 for Purge, and 9 for Mike and Dave.
So you think it's going to make the 5?
It's going to make the 5, but just barely, because
yeah,
BFG ate it
I
so
agree with
hard.
everybody's 1 and 2. Pets, which I wanted to love, and I just wound up liking it. I thought it was okay. I think that movie, though, I think people will come out in droves to see it. So I think Sasha's in the ballpark. I'd say between 75 and 80 is a good number for that. I think that Dory is, so what'd you have Dory at, 25?
I said, I think like 25, 29, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think 25 to... I'll give it 30. I think it can still hit 30 this week on Dory. I think that it may have crossover
But
with
think about
Pets.
how much animation. Like, you've got the animation being pulled for Secret Life, so a lot of people aren't going to see that again. So
Yeah.
it might drop even lower.
Maybe. What are you guys cracking up over there? They tweeting out Finstock? No. What's happening? Come and sit down.
From your Snapchat, it was Arnold. It opened up and it was Arnold's picture. It was just Arnold.
Oh, it's just an Arnold picture?
No, it's freaking. I'm standing next to Rob, and he pulls out his phone, opens it. And
Rob.
the first picture is a giant picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, almost as if he's been staring at it for like the past hour.
I love you,
All right,
Arnold.
good. Thanks for interrupting the bit with that.
I love you, Arnold.
So we
Arnold's
had.
my friend, you guys.
Anyway, so I would say that those are the 3. Tarzan will be 3. Then I think the Purge, and then the shitbox Mike and Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I think numbers are
It'll
the same.
barely beat BFG. Like, it'll
back and forth.
I
BFG
think it'll be
could.
close to 12, but I
Right.
think the Purge will probably be
Yeah.
around like 15, something like that.
Mike and Dave need writers, man.
Okay, yeah. So I said today that Zac Efron needs. I don't know what he did to his agent, but his agent hates him.
Yeah.
Go at Bob Finstock and thank him for that past bit, and
watch us
hashtag Schmoes know. Make sure how they've been so far, guys. They've been going at him relentlessly. Okay, great. It's like, I mean, we're on it tonight, man. Okay, moving on now. It's game time, I believe, right? Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
All right, it is game
I
time.
have actually prepared a bit.
We have a bit. Thank you. I like that. All right, let's talk about the bit. We're gonna give away the giveaways from in Schmoville that we were gonna do for Batman v Superman. We will go and give away I Saw the Light. So we'll do one of those things I said on Wednesday, then we'll do another one that Riley's gonna come up with. Riley, you got something?
I got them. I got both.
You got both already
for I See the Light. Yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
I got both 2 contests going.
All right. Oh, okay.
You want it? When do you want to do that?
Let's do it now before we do the game. Let's do it now. Oh, you got it going right now.
I got it going right now, but I got the winners too.
All right,
I just got to pull it up.
All right, give me the winner for. Don't do the retweet yet for Batman v Superman, but give me the
No.
I Saw the Light.
All right. Well, I got to find it. So you throw me on the spot here, man.
Perfect. All right, this
God,
is
we're crushing it
What
this
the
last
fuck
10
happened in
minutes.
the last 20 minutes? That
You know
cat.
what happened? It's the cat. I'm
It's
telling
the cat.
you, it is the fucking
The
cat.
last 20 minutes have been. I don't know what's happening, but let's talk
Cannot
about this.
blame Swayze for Finstock not showing up.
Oh,
You know what? You're right, though. You're absolutely right. This is all Finstock's fault.
It's all Finstock's fault.
Everything
Everything is always Finstock's
This is
fault.
Finstock's fault, and
Watch,
it absolutely
we're going to
is.
get to our schmodown. He's not going to show up, and I'm going to have to compete with Copster. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's what's going to have to happen, and it'll be Team Mega Shoulders.
Yeah, Mega Shoulders. All right, let's tell us about
Love you,
this
buddy.
game, please. Say
Okay,
this.
so here's what we're going to do. In association with the Secret Life of Pets release this weekend, we are going to play a game all about movie pets, famous pets and movies, movies about pets, all about pets and movies. We have 15 questions here. I'm going to do first team to 6. I want some wangers on the table. Throw some wangers up there.
Right.
Ace, you want to get up there? RB3, you want to get? Actually, no. Miri, go up there. Sorry.
Why
with,
can't Mary be on my team over here?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mary be on my
Mary,
team
come
over
here.
here.
All right, fine. Yeah,
Mary,
being
come
your
on.
Girls
cat.
rule, boys drool.
I want to be with Swayze because he likes me.
Watch,
He does.
Watch
Yeah.
the.
He loves
stuff.
her.
He does. We've been
All right.
noodling.
Okay. So, all right, tell us the rules before the fans decide they don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah. Okay, it's all about pets. Team Miri, Sasha, you just say ladies when you know the answer.
Oh, nice feminism.
Okay. And all right. And Wangers, you are all one team.
four of them?
And Christian
Oh,
Harloff
okay.
is a team on his own.
So these guys
Okay, I
are
like
four?
that.
Lonely Island. Yes, just say wangers.
Wait, what?
Wangers.
So we're the wangers.
Can we do it to where it's like the two grumpy old men, the two?
Sure, we'll do grumpy old men. Just answer grumpy.
Two Latinos.
Yeah, answer
Grumpy,
Latinos.
Latinos, me.
Harloff.
I'll be me.
Yeah, me.
And then the ladies.
Okay.
The dope bitches.
Or the newbies. Bring back Team Newbies.
Team Newbie
Ooh,
in the
Team
house.
Newbies. Okay, so we have
I
4
remember beating
teams.
them last time.
Across 15 questions, and we'll make it easy. The first team to 4 wins.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go in Josh Birdie. This is Josh Birdie. All right,
Cody, you
here
got
we
the
go.
music on? Thanks, buddy.
All right. What is the name of the human pet in The Good Dinosaur?
Riley or Grumpy, whatever the fuck. Spot.
That is correct. 1 point for Team Grumpy Old Man.
It's Spot. Come on. That's bullshit.
Team Champ. You guys root for Riley tomorrow in his big schmodown. All right. Question 2. Near what major city does Turner and Hooch take place?
Grumpy.
Latino.
Grumpy.
Grumpy got it.
Seattle.
Incorrect.
San Francisco.
That is correct. Give one for the Latinos.
Do you even speak Spanish?
See.
You're lying.
Nailed that one.
The
Okay.
cop's just like shaking his head. No,
This is multiple choice. Let me get through all the multiple choices, please.
Grumpy. Sorry.
Fucking Finstock.
In what year did Milo and Otis take place? 89, 90, 91, 92.
Me.
Latino.
Grumpy.
I heard me first.
89.
That is correct. Christian Harloff for a point. It is 1 to 1 to 1. The ladies have nothing.
we have everything. We have
I'm
Swayze.
so busy
Okay.
hanging out with
Whatever.
Swayze. He's on the desk, you guys. He's on
Okay.
the desk.
Please get that cat out of here and never bring it back.
No.
Okay.
Key.
The dog who played Comet on Full House also played who?
Multiple choice.
Me.
Go ahead.
De Niro and Goodfellas.
Correct.
Latino.
Latinos.
Airbud.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Give the man a point.
Oh, shit.
Give the man
I'm not kidding.
a
Please
point.
hold his leash.
Yes.
He's not gonna hurt you.
Okay.
Who's
Who's
the
the
pussy
real
at the
pussy?
table?
When
Never
this-
thought
after
I'd
I
see
saw-
the day
after I
people
saw
are
that
afraid of a
chest-
cat.
Assaulted a grown man.
He looked like I watch these animal videos where they like the lions like destroy zebras. That's what that fucking cat did.
House cat.
That cat literally looked at that poor director and I mean like 4 times.
If you had that on camera, that would be America's Funniest Home
It's
Videos worthy.
funniest
Jane
and
O'Brien.
scariest and also the
Jane
freakiest.
O'Brien paid for that to happen.
It was the most.
Stop looking at me.
It was the scariest thing I've seen. And then,
Swayze,
but
you
not
can look
only
at
was
me
it over,
because
I'm
I
telling
love
you,
you, kidding.
the vindictive. This is why cats have something inside them. They want to fuck people up. Like this
Maybe
cat,
people deserve it.
This cat. Like,
That
you
is
think that
not
director
true.
deserved
Ow,
it?
was
you
a
gotta
super
take
friendly
it.
dude.
No, but not the director. You said people.
I'm talking
Some
about what
people.
this cat did. This cat looked over and was like looking, and then just went,
Look at him.
"Fuck you!" and punched him in the nose.
Let's get a close up on
Telling you.
Swayze. Look at him. He is like
We don't do
docile
close-ups on cats.
and
No,
mellow.
he's
Look at
hiding
how happy
behind-
he
look at-
is.
yeah.
He's just like, "What's up,
Happy. He's
bitches?"
trying- he's looking at the next thing he's gonna kill.
I'm a fan of Swayze.
Okay,
He
let's go
stays.
back to
All right,
Airbud.
enough about
Airbud.
Next question.
Next
Okay,
question.
it's
Fucking
1
cat.
to 2 to 1 to 0. Okay,
Whatever.
here we go.
Swayze.
Name the 3. Give me the name of the 3 animals that were also pets in Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Oh shit.
Kidding me,
Me.
dude?
Me.
Latino.
Samson, Jonas, and Ralphus.
Incorrect.
Wait, the names or the type of
Can we
animal?
say the
No,
type
the
of
names
animals
of
they
the
are?
animals.
Like
Oh,
those?
God.
newbies.
Go ahead.
So there was a Siamese cat.
Oh, fuck
there was
me then.
there was like a red retriever.
Yeah.
And then there was what was the last one?
Yeah, you got to name the animals.
No,
like,
you said I said
like their names. Like
Oh, well, whatever. I don't know
Anthony, Bridget,
It's Samson's
Carol.
one of them.
It was Samson, Delilah, and
And
your
Goonies.
mom.
Incorrect. By the way, I knew this
Mom.
without even having to Google it.
You
so-
have no.
I don't know if that's something you
All
should
right,
announce
Grumpy.
out loud.
Grumpy.
Fuck you.
Samson, one of the 7 dwarfs.
Sassy, Chance, and Shadow. Come on, you guys have no
shit.
soul.
Those are the worst names for dogs
Okay.
ever.
What was the
Or
name
pets, or
of the
whatever they
jazzy band leader cat in the Aristocats?
No way. Come on, man. But I love
The
that
name?
movie.
Yes.
Just cheat and use your computer.
Latinos.
Oh, I'm not
Go
using
ahead.
my computer.
Guess
Do
something.
it.
Say a French name.
Bonjour.
Golden.
Fucking name, not a word.
This is going very well.
Let's say Leroy.
Scat Cat was the
Oh,
name of
shit.
this
Easier
cat.
questions.
1 to 2.
These questions are very
Okay.
hard.
Marty Preston. This is the tagline for this movie. Please name the movie. Marty Preston, a small-town southern boy, must rescue a young beagle from an abusive owner and reclusive man by the name of Judd Travers.
Oh, Jesus.
Can't wait to miss that one. Jesus.
What?
What was it?
That's a
There's
tagline?
That's the log line?
It's the log line.
Oh, log
Marty
line.
Preston, a small-town southern boy, must rescue a young beagle from his abusive and reclusive owner, Judd Travers.
Latino.
Go ahead.
dark.
Fucking Frankie Muniz, isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay. Then
Okay, newbies.
Shiloh. Oh.
Me.
Was it Shiloh?
It was Shiloh. There
Oh,
we go.
great.
Hibachi, a dog's
That
tail.
doesn't count, right?
Okay, here we go. Who voices the animated dog Bolt?
Grumpy.
Oh, no,
I
wait.
got it. Me.
I heard Christian first.
John Travolta.
That is
Dang it,
correct.
I knew that one.
2 to
Oh,
2
I
to
knew.
1.
I thought
Here
it
we
was Miley
go.
Cyrus.
Who played the mother and father in Beethoven?
Me.
Go.
Charles Grodin. Had Mary Jedica.
She was
I
great in
certainly
that.
was not.
Anybody
She was
else?
good
You
in
have
that,
the
but I do
first name. You already have the
appreciate
first name. All you
Saint
need is the mother. You have the father. Anybody? Nobody knows Beethoven.
Beverly Johnson.
Incorrect. No. Come on.
Bernard.
She's famous.
Ladies.
It was my understanding there would be no animal questions here at
Famous.
Charles
Schmodown.
Grodin and Beverly D'Angelo.
Starts with a B. Bonnie Hunt, guys.
Oh. Bonnie Hunt.
I got it.
Bonnie
I
Hunt.
got one letter right.
Here we go.
It's good.
I like
What
Beverly
breed
D'Angelo.
of dog is my dog Skip?
Grumpy.
Latino.
I heard Grumpy first.
Jack Russell Terrier.
That is correct. Give him 2 points. Give him a point. You have 2 to 2 to 2.
No, it's 3. Don't
No,
they?
they got
No.
two.
Oh, okay.
2
No, we don't.
2
And you
to
guys
0.
We have Swayze.
You guys have
Here we
0
go.
points. Just saying.
I'm like,
In what state does Old Yeller take place?
Grumpy.
Latino.
Newbies. Pennsylvania.
Incorrect. Good.
Wyoming.
Incorrect.
That was
Grumpy.
Texas.
That is correct. 3 points. They are 1 away from the victory. Okay.
He's lucky he can't
Fill in
hear.
the blank.
I know.
Fill in the blank. The story of a blank who wants to become a sheepdog. A 1995
Grumpy.
classic.
Latino.
That is correct.
No.
Pig.
That is correct.
And the champ.
he's not the champ for nothing, y'all. He's not the champ for
go.
nothing.
Look at that fucking
Ken,
belt.
Ken, that was heads up work. That was amazing work. That
Good
was
shit, Ken.
beautiful.
If it was
If it
history,
weren't
if
for
it was
you,
Civil War
that
history,
never
it would
would've
have been
happened.
great.
I would like to point out that I wrote these questions without the use of the internet, so the fact that I know all these answers is pathetic.
Exactly.
True.
Which
You
is
don't
why
do
The
your
Homeward
job.
Bound is
True.
very,
Ever
very
in the
nice.
history of the world.
Hashtag truth.
All right. Well, thank you for
Hashtag lies.
watching this asteroid blow up in the middle of space. Guys, thank
No
you.
way. This was the Armageddon of episodes. Like, this was totally Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler
It's our last
making
episode
out.
because your
like
cat
that
has
movie.
killed the director. Guys, I wanted to thank
Look at it,
everybody
he's so good.
for joining us tonight. Thank you for obviously we got to get to these giveaways.
Yeah,
because
did we
I wanna
announce
say,
winners? I'm
Not
like-
yet, we're gonna do that now. But I wanted to thank everybody though. Make sure you're gonna get last shot here to do. We're gonna do the Batman v Superman Finstock edition in just a second. That'll be the last one. But Riley, let's give away some Blu-rays here. First, the I Saw Your Lights.
Yeah, I got 2 of
I saved
those,
the light.
and for one of them was the
saw
retweet
your
or
light.
the tagging me and Merle. I went down the middle. Matt at the Cult of Pop says, I honestly don't know who's going to win. The Schmodown is going to come down who gets their strong categories. Very true.
Okay,
That's
so you're
very
gonna give
true.
one- you're
So
gonna
he
give that
wins one, and then the other one, I had somebody retweet my tweet about sharing an article by Rachel Cushing on the new schmoesknow.com, which is the best 2016 movies and worst thus far. In the great article. Amber Gabriel wins at ASG 807. You know, Amber, you got it.
All
There's
right,
a big
so,
number
and
there.
So you guys both get 2. That's 2 copies of I Saw the Light.
Yeah, one each.
One each.
Okay, yeah, one each, but that's well, combined together, that's 2. Matt, now, what do
Wow,
you got?
math.
Thank you. Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. Now we're going to do the first one, which was a retweet of tonight's show. Please pick one, sir.
Yes, and they had to quote it,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So Christopher S. Brown at IrishCal7524 says, this show is awesome because it's like kicking back, having some beers, and talking movies with my friends, but much better.
Well, there you go. You are going to get
And
the
if you're friends with a
Batman.
cat that attack people, great.
Batman
Oh, let
v-
it go. He's not so
Let
bad.
it go. He
This isn't Frozen, okay?
should be arrested. Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. Congratulations to that. Now, the last one. Have they been going at Finstock?
No, I haven't got that one. You said you were
said
going to pick
Wednesday.
that later on Wednesday.
No. I said no. I said that we were going to do that.
And then you
I
said
turned
that
it
again,
away.
so we
No.
didn't. Nope, then I didn't pick
Can
it.
you hashtag Schmoes know right now as
All
we
right.
talk real
We
quick?
still have 6 minutes.
You have
Yeah,
6
we got
minutes.
time.
I want to get.
You
Yeah.
want to talk about Comic-Con a little bit?
Let's talk about Comic-Con. It's a great idea. Comic-Con, by the way, so just to let everybody know kind of what's going to be happening when we are there, we're going to be doing the meet and greet. So all you guys, fans of Schmoes, fans of Collider, we're going to be doing a big meet meet and greet. We don't know exactly when. I think Dennis is going to announce it on one of the movie talks as far as exactly when. I think it'll probably be Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure, but we'll all be there. It's the first time that it's usually always been like Collider does the meet and greet, and then either after or a day later, Schmoes does it, or vice versa. And this time it's just one big family. We're going to be doing the meet and greet, all the Collider people, all the Schmoes people together doing one big meet and greet. So make sure once we give you all the information that you do that. But Miri's going to be there. Makuga's going to be there. Riley, Ken, Ace, Copster, the whole crew, RB3, Cody, we're all going to be there. And we are definitely looking forward to meeting everybody, covering everything. What does everyone expect, like, the big news at a Comic-Con to be this year? We're going to do a preview special for sure, but what's like going to be the big thing? Is it going to be Marvel? Is it going to be Star Wars? What's going to steal Hall H?
Oh man, I mean, I have a hope, which is just that actually Suicide Squad stuff is shown and it looks fantastic, and I think that would be my favorite thing because it's still the movie I'm most excited for this summer. But in terms of new stuff coming out, I don't know, man. I mean, every year I feel like it's become more and more of a TV thing than it is a film thing. So I think whatever we end up like really gushing about will probably be on the TV side, not the film side.
Interesting. And Mitch, speaking of TV, by the way, we're going to be there this year. We haven't done this in the past, but we'll be doing it. We'll be doing full coverage on this channel of all the Hall H stuff. We've done all that every year, and we'll do that again. But we're going to be covering TV. It's Ace and David Griffin is going to from TV Talk, going to be representing both TV Talk and Schmoes, and he will be there with Ace, and they're going to be kind of reviewing the new pilots, and all those reviews will be on this channel. Now, someone who will be covering Hall H for the very first time is Miri Jetikin. You're going to be doing
stabbed with a pencil.
I know. It was a long time ago.
First time caller. I mean, I've gone to Comic-Con so many times and never stepped foot in Hall H in my life.
Well,
because
this year,
always,
it smells so good.
Terrible.
I'm sure.
It smells like
you're going to be taking my place with Mark, and you guys, Copster and Mark will be at Hall H, and they'll be doing reviews for the channel. Now, I know what you're looking forward to the most, and that's the Game of Thrones panel, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to Game of Thrones. I hope they show some footage. I hope they give us...
It just got delayed. I mean, they're delaying the whole release of the season because of the winter, because winter's here. They got to shoot in wintertime. It's going to be...
Last year, they kind of how they set it up. They just have the whole crew come out there and kind of shoot the shit, talk about, recap the season. Last year, I think they had a fun blooper reel. I don't know if they'll do it again, but I mean, you know...
I'd be down to see that.
Yeah.
I'll just take anything they give me.
And the only names they've really announced are Sir Davos will be there, Liam Cunningham, Maisie Williams, I think, will be there, Sophie Turner will be there. Some of the big names probably will not.
Sophie Turner's
Sophie Turner also now is X-Men too, so she's got obviously a big draw at Comic-Con. I think that Star Wars and Lucasfilm in general is going to probably announce some cool stuff because...
You think so? Even with Celebration the week before?
That's what I think. Well, I mean, what's going to be crazy is the Star Trek premiere. Like, I think that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Especially with Anton Yelchin passing.
Yeah.
They're probably going to... I don't know if they're going to do anything, but I would imagine.
They're doing the big premiere, so I mean that alone. But I think, Sasha, I think you're right though. I think that they're going to do Suicide Squad stuff because it's right around the corner.
But what about
future?
Also,
it doesn't have great buzz because because they did do some reshoots recently, and I think people are nervous about it. I still really hope it's fantastic.
I think we're getting a lot of Doctor Strange stuff that we're going to get from Marvel. I think from the DC side, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 from Marvel for sure. But for the DC side, I think we're going to get Wonder Woman stuff because if we got the little bit of a tease on the Wonder Woman special that they did on DC, they're going to definitely give us something for Wonder Woman.
Justice League? You think we'll get anything Justice League?
I mean, they're
Sasha
shooting.
just wants Jason Momoa.
That is so effing
Me
true.
too.
Oh my god!
Right behind you.
He might be there. They might do a Justice League. They might have them come out now. Whether or not they have anything, I mean, they've been shooting, and I said it this morning. Guardians of the Galaxy had a teaser after 2.5 weeks of shooting.
And they've been promoting it so hard. They're like, you're going to see stuff, and we're going to be there, and like they're pushing that hard, which they don't have to because people are already excited for it.
I will say of what I know from what people from Justice League are going to be there, I think it's going to be gigantic.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it kind of has to be.
Really,
actually,
Comic-Con HQ.
I think
no, it has nothing to do with Comic-Con HQ. It has to do with a buddy.
I think they
Oh, so you
have
think
to.
Justice League?
Fuck your mother.
Whoa.
My
That's a
goodness.
very, very intense thing to say. I think that you're right only because and you have a source, obviously, but because of the reception of Batman v Superman, and there's a lot of doubt around the franchise and its expansion and whether or not it's actually feasible for a lot of reasons. I think they should actually.
Well, you know what?
Go
Wait,
big
hold on
or
real
go
quick.
home
You know what?
kind of
It was Robbie 3 just held this up, and I think he's absolutely right. Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So
Huh.
they're announcing so much with Homecoming. Was that yeah, that was you? So RB3 came up
Cody
with this
for Spider-Man.
idea, and I think that it was apparently Tom Holland himself was telling us that Spider-Man. I think
He's
that
here?
Yeah, look, he's right there.
God, he's got so many talents.
But you know the thing is with that movie, they've been announcing so much of the casting.
Yeah.
And so I think
They'll bring out
footage.
cast?
Yeah, I think maybe cast and talk about it, and it'd be interesting. Yeah.
Well, the one thing about Warner Brothers, every single year they try to make it like as epic as possible.
Yeah.
The screens they extend, so for sure something they're gonna try to shove something down our throats.
Now,
with
this is your
Justice League,
third.
maybe.
This is your third year now. As
Yes,
Hall
and I
H,
won't be
right?
sleeping on the floor. Thank you.
You didn't sleep on the floor last year.
No, but the first year was terrible.
First year, it was a big improvement.
It
last
was,
year.
yeah. I got to sleep in a bed one night.
And then I'm sure again. So guys, you guys will see us covering the floor. We'll be covering Hall H. We'll be doing TV. We will be there for sure. We're going to try to do some giveaways while we're there. You know, it's just a matter of what the hell they are when we have them. But just so when people are there, we'll know. And we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do a special. It's going to be us and the superhero news guys are going to come in and do a special with myself and Mark. Next week, we are actually, so next week, we're just going to have it's just going to be myself, Mark, and Ken. We're just going to do like a little special for kind of like the weekend review of Schmoes. Crew's going to have some time to chill out, get ready for Comic-Con, and then the following week is Comic-Con, and we're just going to have a Comic-Con special that week. So our next live show will be the week after Comic-Con.
July 28th.
July 28th. So just let everybody know. We'll have shows next week and the following week, but they just won't be full live shows. All right.
And if you see us at Comic-Con, stop us and say hello.
Yeah.
If you can't make the meet and greet, stop and say, you see us in Hall H,
Don't
you
be
see us in
nervous.
just come up and say hello. We're nice, normal people.
Yeah, the mild man
I
will
don't
say
know
what's
about.
up.
I don't know about that. but-
If you have a cat, I will not say hello.
Yeah. All right. So have they been going after him?
Oh, they've been going after him.
Excellent.
There's a lot of memes too.
memes too?
All memes. The old memes.
They're all memes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're not all of them, but there's a lot of
them.
memes. So I had to choose
how
a
many
meme.
would you say that went after him?
Oh
Give or
man,
take.
I don't know. Jeez.
More or less than 50?
I would say more than 50.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
I mean,
the hate is real.
Good. He deserves it.
okay, so I'm going with this because it made me laugh,
Okay.
and it's a meme,
That's
and
what
it's
counts.
got everything.
All right.
At David Silva, at D Silva Jedi, has a meme of a stormtrooper saying, "Loyalty, motherfucker, do you speak it?" You were the chosen one, traitor. You failed to show. You don't deserve the mask.
Oh, that's great. You don't deserve the mask. Okay.
And
well,
so
That's good.
I'm choosing that as the winner.
all right,
It's
so good.
pretty funny.
All right, well,
so.
congratulations. You harassed Finstock the best. You will get your copy of Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Edition. Fun show tonight. Evil one.
The real Lily.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
the real
you
little evil.
guys.
He's so good. Look at him.
Listen, says the guy who's the worst version of Taco Bell hot sauce. Listen, mild man, don't you be angry.
Did you just insult me with mild Taco Bell
I
sauce?
did. It's the worst kind. Everyone knows it's all about hot and fire.
Oh, all right. Well,
Over here, hot fire.
guys, that's been the show tonight. It's been bizarre, but it's been fun. I hope you guys had fun. I'd like to thank everybody here tonight. Make sure you go check out Tickled. Send money for his hospital bill. And
We're gonna
little
start
bit
a
of plastic
Kickstarter.
surgery. It's
Yeah.
just the slightest bit of plastic surgery. Just a little
only
reconstruction.
half of his nose was hanging off his head. Guys, thank you guys so much. And make sure you go to Gentle Giant. Check the link in the description. The stuff on the table. Look at Yak Face back there. There's so many cool things Gentle Giant has. I promise you, go. It is a geek's delight. I love it. Spend a lot of time there. You should too.
It's amazing.
Go and check it
You
out.
should see their
Gentle
facility.
Giant. Tweet at them, by the way. That's what we should have done for a giveaway tonight. Damn it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We'll see you after Comic-Con, but check out next week's special show with myself, Ken, and Ellis. Peace out, Mother Fs.
Dumb cat.